Hello everyone.
Oh, yeah,
We're watching some more Star Trek. Today is going to be The Quickening, Body Parts, and Broken Link. None of which are very happy episodes. Body Parts is kind of a comedy. It's okay. No, you can't use the triangle emote because you're not a member. You have to click the join link. You have to give me money if you want to use the triangle emote.
Triangle emote? What's
Shell.
that?
99 cents is fine.
Yeah. So, I enabled YouTube memberships last night. That just gives you a little badge, and it gives you some extra emotes you can use. I'll put them in the YouTube chat. There they are. The most important one, of course, is the triangle. It's very important.
So vacuum, is that your YouTube? No, you're Ryan said it. Oh,
Yeah, I'm Ryan.
Okay.
He's usually on the show, but he's in the chat though
Got confused.
right now.
Okay.
There is
got
space in the
confused for a
Discord
second.
shell if you would like to join us here. There are 2 more slots for now.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that yesterday. Okay.
So yeah, we have emotes now, and
I get
YouTube,
confused pretty
it
quickly.
only lets me have 4 emotes. Unfortunately, there are others that I want to add in, but I mean, that's all we got. Any other orders of business? Oh, there's Faint Signal is the first member of the channel. Wait. My thing is saying 2 new members, but I only see the 1 notification. There it is, Ronan. Hey, Ronan. Yes, we have 2 members. We did it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done
Hey,
it.
Faint Signal. I'm Ronan.
So yeah,
Ronan's gone.
you get a badge as well. Right now you have the ensign badge. After 1 month it goes up to lieutenant junior grade, I think it is. Which is the gold and the black, and then you get 2 gold, then you get 2 gold and a black, then 3 gold, then 4 gold. So you go up in ranks as you get more months. That's how that works until it ends at captain.
So Shelvaku's the highest ranking member as of now.
Nah, Shelvaku's not a member. Get out of here, Shelvaku. We don't want you. You didn't give me money. How dare you? No. You don't have to give me money. Yeah, unfortunately, I would love to give absolutely everybody the triangle shape emote, but YouTube literally won't let me. That's not an option. I can't give everyone the triangle ship.
How dare they?
But yes,
Oh,
I
cool.
expect anyone who is a member to spam the triangle ship button. When you can.
When we see a triangle ship, especially.
Yes, if we see a triangle ship, I expect full triangle ship spam from anyone who's in who is a member. It's very important. I'll try to spam some triangles myself as well. In fact, let me spam the number of triangles we have. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Enter. I said enter. Why
It is a new era for Ryan's edits.
What? Oh, I'm over the character limit. What a ripoff. Why do triangle ships count as 10 characters? Oh, because... Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll just do it 1 at a time. It's my channel. I can spam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. There we go. There's all the triangles we've seen.
Hey, Doshland.
No fucker asks.
Madness.
No fucker asks. Which one of you is Ryan?
The Enterprise D.
Hello, I am
icon.
Ryan. Hello, yes, this is Ryan talking now. Hello, I am Ryan. If you want to hide the
Ryan,
emoji
the
picker,
Enterprise
you have to
D.
click on the little keyboard button at the bottom left. Everybody be ready to press play in 25 seconds. The Quickening, Season 4, Episode 23.
Do you have the bot in the watch along queue? Not that we need it right now. Just
I
saying.
think it doesn't need to actually technically be there. It'll just keep doing its thing.
Thanks.
Silly
Press play in
YouTube,
10
not
seconds.
letting me.
Everybody get ready. The Quickening,
letting me
press play in
sign up.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. It's not letting you what?
It's fixated on the fact I'm in Germany, but all my credit cards run through America. So it's
Oh.
like, no, you cannot.
That's okay. somehow I'll have to like really cut down on my budget, but I will manage without the dollar. I'll figure out a way to keep going.
Because I'm already doing $5 on Patreon.
Okay.
This is this.
Don't walk, run.
It's like a Ponzi scheme, Herr Deutschland. He's just gonna keep asking you for more and more. Kidding.
I want the. I'll
The
start
triangle
using
ship.
some VPNs.
Yeah. This intro is great because
Yes.
Quark runs advertisements on the panels, and we
I
never
want
see
to
that
live in
in
this future where advertisements are illegal.
Yeah. Also, I
They're
want
not
to.
illegal. It's just illegal on official government property. You can't hack a
What?
billboard.
When they had that huge Paramount lot auction, why didn't I buy that Quark's mug right there? That would have been perfect. I wasn't even a coffee drinker, but I would drink coffee from that every day.
It's a good mug.
It's such a great mug.
How do you feel about the title of the stream? I'm very proud of it. We're not going to get it until like halfway through the line, but Bashir has some hubris going on.
Sheer blanking hubris.
Heckin' hubris.
There's a lot of death and dying in this episode.
By
Yeah.
the way, the mug is nice. Is that a Starfigation mug?
Sorry, what was that, Kevin?
I saw that mug over there. That looks nice. Is that a Starfleet edition mug?
The mug that Quark had was not a Starfleet mug, if that's the one you're talking about.
That was a nice mug.
Yeah, it was like etched.
Looks like the mugs we have today.
Hey, you should have bought that mug, dude.
Ugh.
You might be able to find it on eBay, or maybe a replica. Quark's is fun
You're wrecked,
mug.
Gino.
Let's look it up. No, that's just a regular mug.
No,
Yeah.
you know those etch stickers? Like you can take letters off because they're just etched into like a sticker form. So it was clearly just a white mug that they etched onto it. I don't know how they got the Quark thing on, but I did see the sticker of the letters.
Yeah, if they're on eBay, I'd buy one, but I gave all my money to that Voyager documentary, so I don't know what to do now.
Okay.
Then I give $1 to Ryan.
Right.
A
Put your
dollar.
last.
Yeah, that'll break the bank.
Nice
It's like, I want
zoom
you to
out.
keep that channel alive, but those 99 cents.
So, because the first threshold for getting a new emote is 2 members, and now we have 3, so we can get another emote. Excellent.
Yay!
We just have to decide.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna be a member, Ryan. I like triangle ships just as much as the next
Triangle
guy.
ships are fantastic. That's the best kind of
Yeah,
ship.
hey, give me a week. I'll get 2.
We gotta rename the stream the triangle ship watch along.
Man, TOS is going to be such a boring watch along. There's not a single triangle in TOS.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be an issue.
We'd have to watch like
that series.
true.
I always thought TOS was kind of boring, but at the same time, I like it though.
Sorry, I mean I hate to start off with the morbidity, but the episode's going there. Oh my god, this is terrible.
Bring out
But,
the dead.
We are really lucky because when SARS, go ahead, Sabda.
Bring out your
Wha-
dead. I need a bell.
Wha-
Can I get a bell?
What were,
I'm
What were you-
feeling better.
I think Sabda or someone was trying to say something.
Just talk, and then you're good.
Thank you. So, when SARS broke out in like 2005, 6, I forgot what that was, but it was more like 10 or something. I don't know. So we were okay. It was very deadly in the sense that like it didn't spread as fast as COVID-19 does, but it had a higher mortality rate. Like it was more deadly. So COVID spreads much faster, but it's not as lethal. You know, it's only like a 1% or 0.5% fatality rate. Yeah. So we're really lucky that the pandemic kind of worked out for us in this way, except other than the 500,000 Americans dead. But
Right.
Yeah, I would say workout is kind of maybe an overstatement. Let's say
Well-
it's not as bad as it could have been.
right,
Yeah.
right. So
Right.
so I could easily see in 50 years or 100 years, like you could have a strain of a virus that is both rapidly spreading and like I think SARS was like 30% lethal or 50% lethal.
No, it wasn't. Well, I'm thinking among some age groups it might have been, but not among the general, not among everyone.
Okay, well that's good, but I'm just saying like it was way more fearsome, and not in the sense that it spread, but the way it killed. And here, well, the Jem'Hadar do this, but I'm glad. I was thinking when I was watching this episode, why didn't they just open up a Discord and start a Star Trek watch along? But they didn't have that option in this epidemic.
Star Trek
They don't
doesn't
have
exist in the Star
electricity
Trek
anymore
world.
on this planet. There's a triangle, but that triangle doesn't count. But I'll give it a good triangle anyway. It's a good triangle.
That's the mascot triangle.
Yes. And
You can
to
definitely emoji the
answer-
triangle.
To answer, was it Shell's
Okay.
question? The number of emotes goes up. For 2 members, it goes to 5. For 5 members, it goes up to 6. And at 10 members, it goes up to 7. And then every 5 or 10 members after that.
Of how 5 minutes into the episode, someone had to say, "Hey, I don't want to get into a dark topic." It's like, this is what DS9 does to you. You have to talk about suicide, PTSD, all kinds of like horrible stuff.
POWs.
Sure.
Let me know.
Yeah, this is the show. This isn't fun, light Star Trek by any stretch in this 4th season here.
Yeah, and also we're building up to the Dominion War. It's a really slow build-up, much slower than we remember. But I feel like this clearly puts them in an evil category because they're using biological warfare.
Yeah, the Dominion, I believe the technical term is has no chill. They just completely decimate a planet for generations to come, and because they
I believe that's the
one
correct term.
minor
Yeah.
rebellion.
Minor.
Renee Echevarria was a producer.
Yeah, the Dominion is very good at genetic engineering, so if anyone could do it, they could.
Does anyone remember who directed this before it pops up?
I didn't see.
Was it Renee Echevarria?
It was Renee Auberjonois.
Oh, it was
Number
Renee
two.
Echevarria.
Cool. Rest in peace. And is
It
that...
also has a fun name to pronounce, Renee Aubergenois.
Whoa.
Okay.
Sorry. Written by Naren Shankar. He's the showrunner on The Expanse.
Oh, shit.
And thank you.
I was trying to figure
I
out
didn't
how to
notice
say it.
that.
Oh,
And The Expanse is awesome. I'm a big fan of that show.
I think it's the most Star Trek-like of any non-Trek series, other than The Orville, of course, which is a direct parody.
Yeah, the Orville basically is a Trek show. Like, let's be real. But yeah, The Expanse is like very gritty, very realistic. I like it.
Something cool that The Expanse writers confirmed was that they're in the same universe as The Martian, written by that person.
Okay, so
Andy
you just sold
Ward.
me on that show.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you
no.
should. It's amazing. It's really, and I mean, it's only set a century in front of us or whatnot, but it's just humanity exploring the solar system.
So, at the beginning of this episode, we were getting the whole bring out your dead. And now this lady that they brought in specifically because she was seeking the Grail. Is this... How much of this episode is Monty Python? But dark.
Yeah,
Let's watch for names on control panels. Let's find out.
yeah.
There are some who
You-
call me Trevian.
Something cool that happens. I know, like I always jump the gun halfway into the episode with my insights. But Bashir stops believing himself at one point, and Dax is like, "You're so arrogant just because you think that you couldn't cure the virus, that there is no cure."
That's what
And,
the
like-
title's about, the sheer Heckin hubris.
Isn't it the Quicken? Oh, okay. Oh, your title. Okay.
Yes. No, the title of the episode is not Bashir's sheer Heckin hubris. That is not... No. As much as we would have liked it to be.
I don't know.
Maybe in lower decks.
I didn't really keep an eye on the intakes. I just watched this, but I did watch that intake, and I like that one intake. That was a TNG intake.
Yeah, with Dr. Crusher and Jordy and Data.
Yeah.
Boost my volume a bit.
That
I'm a
was
little
great.
quiet. Sure thing. Boost my volume. My volume has now been boosted slightly.
But yeah, I did see that one. I did see that one with. Yeah.
The Voyager Phage episode is really great too, because the Vidians, they're like really smart, but they're also like their skin's falling off, which is pretty wild.
I really like the Vidians.
Me too. I mean, they were evil, but they were desperate evil, which is probably
the fun thing
justifiable.
about the Vidians is they used to just be the Federation. It was exactly the same as the Federation until they got the phage and they got desperate.
Yeah, they're
Which
really
was
sympathetic.
It was a nice refreshment from the just like the Klingons and Kess.
Yeah.
Just like the Klingons, the Kazon, the discount Klingons.
The discount Gamma Quadrant Klingons.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Dollar store Klingons.
Yeah, dollar store Klingons.
It's like for
How
those
dare
of
you impugn the dollar store? With
for those of you who are in
Kazon.
the D&D game, the Mercenary Guild is like the Klingons, and you guys are like the Kazon.
Ow! Very dare you.
Yeah. The other guild.
Perfect.
You just insulted all your friends on Discord, bro.
Yes,
But
yes,
okay.
I did.
That's it. I'm out.
Yeah, we're all.
It's
we're
okay.
all-
Only the actual characters are the
Nice.
Kazon. The players are fine. The characters are the Kazon.
Okay, thanks.
I hear trying to rescue yourself.
I'm gonna go play with Tipping Mike now. I don't need this.
Okay.
So back to the episode. This actor is Michael Sarrazin, I think is his
Trivium?
name, and he was
The
in he's in a few things, but he's in this really great movie about a dance contest of all things. It's called They Shoot Horses, Don't They? It's a Jane Fonda movie directed by Sidney Pollack from the late 60s. But I mean, he was a big up and coming actor in like the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, I thought it was like I thought it was a really. He has a familiar face.
Yeah, he's one of these guys where, like, if you looked at his list, you've seen a dozen movies he's in for sure. He's a Canadian actor, I think theatrical background, but like just a good one of these guys who probably did a lot of these like single shot episodes during this time period, but a good actor for sure.
Also, hello, Luke. I know Luke is one of our regulars who is in the D&D game, but I can never.
Motion
I
detected
forget
at the front yard.
whose username they're associated with. Is that Shell? Is that Shell?
No, it's me. It's Gyrix.
It's Jerings. Okay. Hi.
Jerings.
Hello. You're now a triangle.
Shelmer's just trying to join. Shelmer's just trying to join D&D.
Hey, Terry Farrell has her hair down.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna
she
say
traded
that she
her
looks so
hairpin
good with
for
her hair down.
I guess it's because they're outside. She gets to.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Shell.
like
Shell. I already
Terry.
knew that because you
Yeah.
type in the YouTube chat as Shell. Yeah.
I like
As soon as
Terry.
as soon as the opening credits ended, she motioned to her hair and mentioned that.
I
Easy
like
to
Terry
miss.
Farrell.
Oh.
Terry Farrell.
I missed that. I was. a
I
little
met her at the
distracted by
convention
that.
too.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've always wanted to meet her. She seems really nice. I've tweeted with her a couple times. She seems really sweet.
I also met the person that plays the next stack. Nicole DeBoer.
Yeah.
Nicole DeBoer.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't. That's cool.
Yeah.
How many conventions have
He's
you been
also
to, Kevin?
Canadian.
That was my first convention.
Okay, wow. I've never been to one, even though I wore a uniform to college once. People were looking at me.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Other than my first convention, I never been there before. I never went before.
I mentioned I went to like the experience, which you
Yeah.
also have been to,
Motion
and then I've
detected at the front
Sorry,
yard.
that's the
I've been
dog
to
out
the-
there.
the Star Trek like exhibit little pop up thing that they had at the Intrepid Air and Space Museum here in New York.
Okay.
I did Star Trek the tour years ago, and they had it at the Queen Mary in Long Beach here in Los Angeles, which was pretty cool. And then, very coincidentally, I met Will Wheaton randomly at a party like a week later.
Nice. Hey, this reminds me of that same room where Bashir and O'Brien were like trapped because of the
Right, the
chemical weapon they were
harvesters.
working on. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Federation's really putting its foot in it in this episode, whether it realizes it or not.
Yeah.
Need to
Is this a
rein
Prime
Bashir in
Directive
and tell him no.
violation? Well, no, I guess it's technically not a violation because they did ask for help. Kinda.
It's not. It's just very strategically incompetent.
Hey, Argos.
Hello.
Nice.
Yeah, it goes.
Yeah.
This does have like a very Doctors Without Borders kind of feel to it.
Right, but the other
Those are
thing
nice
is though,
rock paintings.
definitely.
Why
If
didn't
they're-
cavemen make paintings on rocks that nice? Why did they have such dumb paintings? They were just stick figures.
Because they didn't once have civilization.
What, they couldn't just like look outside and see what a tree looked like? They had to make it a stick? Come on.
We only
Come on,
developed
cavemen.
perspective very recently in painting.
That's how I
Renaissance.
paint.
Save it for the anti-caveman watch along, okay?
All cavemen cared about was like what they had in their life, which is like, okay, I'm going to draw the animals I intend to eat.
Yo, the oldest cave painting we ever found is like a giant pig.
Exactly.
Were the cave paintings of various kinds of animals?
Bacon.
Were those menus? Did someone point at the cave painting at the end of the line and you went into it?
Oh god.
That's how we
It's
talk.
like a Denny's. It's like
This is
an
what we
Asian-
serve
Yeah.
in this cave.
Oh my god.
Tricorder has a sonogram in it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good catch, yeah.
But one thing I kind of didn't get is that, okay, well, first, it's very dangerous going down to a planet with a plague. How do we know that our heroes are not going to get the plague?
Well,
They're the
we
main
know why
characters,
Julian's
they
not
don't
gonna get
die.
the
That's true. They can't die because they're main
Spoilers.
characters. It's very important.
Julian's genetically advanced, spoilers, but so he'll be fine. I don't know about the rest.
Jutsia
Yeah.
will
She'll
never
have pretty good-
die. Don't worry about
They've
Jutsia.
just-
She's fine.
They've just totally
Yeah, she'll be
broken the
fine.
quarantine on this island, though. On
It's
this,
generally
planet.
genetic.
But they're not even wearing
compatibility.
masks.
Social distancing.
I think
That's
we've
not
established
true.
many times that Starfleet has terrible pandemic protocols.
I just want Bashir to
Absolutely
put on
horrible.
They have no good
Bashir to put on a
protocols.
mask that says "Don't mess with Texas."
The Omega directive is their best protocol. Come on.
Well, Julian's Genengri enhanced, so he'll be fine.
I'm still a little bit upset that the burn was not Omega molecules.
Right.
This thing was
No,
like
some
a juicer.
contrived thing. Don't worry about it. Big Bam.
Julian has a cool lab distillation thing built later on that table. I liked it
Because
because
this thing just looks like a juicer or like a coffee maker with
No,
lights.
it's a portable power cell. Look at it. It even has the reverse warp core effect. Instead of blue,
Isn't
it's
that-
orange.
I thought-
Instead of going down, it goes up.
Ah,
Isn't it
can
the
almost
same
see the
person who
doublet
used
crystal
lazy-
coming out.
Isn't that the same prop they used to freeze Odo's shapeshifting abilities in the Romulan episode?
I was just gonna
Maybe.
say that. I think it is, or it's very similar. Maybe it's like repainted.
Maybe it just does both.
I don't know. If you ever watch like late seasons of SG1 or something like that, like you see all the lazy, cheap prop work. It's just embarrassing.
So I looked it up. It is definitely the same prop, except in that episode, they put some weird, like, pillars next to it. I can bring it up on stream.
Yeah, can you bring it up or link it?
Yeah, so that middle bit is the same, but they put
The
these,
pillars
like,
of paralyzed.
weird, chunky tricorders around the side.
I was gonna say, you're describing pillars. That sounds exactly what a Cardassian would do.
So this
The
disease,
top part looks identical. Yeah.
this disease isn't fatal per se. Like you hang around for a while and just get some boils and sores.
I mean,
It looks like one of those things you put like incense in to keep mosquitoes away.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's called a quickening. So at some point, though, the thing
It kills
takes
you
over and
around
kills
30
you.
or 40,
Okay.
and you're born with it.
Okay. Those
Islander 2,
Dominion.
the quickening.
The phage is what the Vidian disease is called. It's called a blight
Yes.
here.
Wouldn't they just
Oh,
rob him
angry
and be
Bashir
done with
is.
it? Like, let's be real in this situation.
Yeah.
This is a very polite, destroyed society. Yeah.
Maybe they just don't physically have any energy to attack people.
They're like, oh,
Yeah.
you have equipment, do
Very
you?
possible.
Now it's ours.
Yeah, there's nothing holding them together for sure. It's not like there's
Someone
any kind
just
of government.
walks by Bashir, grabs his gun out of his holster that is not even a holster. Just very openly available.
Yep.
Lots of quality makeup work in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I was gonna say it's lovely,
Yeah.
but no, it's distinctly not lovely. But it's very competently done.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. You can tell
Magic.
that they're really sick just by looking at them.
Bashir's a
That's
magician.
casting too. Everyone looks a little thinner than they should be, which I think is a casting decision.
Yep.
I just love how angry Bashir gets. Like he does
Yeah.
frustrated very well, and we see it a lot. But this is like on a whole new level.
I like how he gets frustrated in pretty much every episode that you watch.
Yeah. I like the episode.
I wonder what it's like to be in a situation where you're dealing with people who have a terrible disease and you have more medical knowledge than them, and they won't trust you. I'll never be in that situation, thankfully, but it must be frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
must
we
be
get that
frustrating.
same sort of thing in Voyager, where the Doctor wants to treat Dr. Zimmerman.
One thing that doesn't
It's like,
read
come on,
right
I know
to me
more
in
than
this
you about
episode
this.
is Bashir's anger towards Trevian. Like,
That statement is like, why haven't they robbed him yet? Because he basically just said we're gonna like skin you alive or something if you're lying.
Yeah, that was harsh, man.
Well, Trevian is being a negative Nelly, and Bashir doesn't like it.
Bashir's like,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just gonna hang
here's-
out and annoy you.
Here's the justification. It's like they've been sick so long and they've lost hope. And she says we've come to worship death. Like, and later on she even says, like, even though he's not able to cure her, spoiler, is that she says,
Whoa.
you gave me hope. You gave me hope, you know? So it's like, again, with the COVID parallel, I mean, you know, if you're in a hospital room in those early days and you have no family members around you and you die alone, that's pretty sad and morbid. You know, at least, I mean, these people, they kind of have each other to hold and care for.
But I
We
mean,
don't
if
worship
Bashir
death,
is
though.
gonna
Quite the opposite in the West.
if Bashir is gonna try and develop a vaccine for these people, he's not even withholding it, going no vaccine. What's the point? We need to get the space
I understood
Africans
that
in here.
reference.
Oh, that doctor from Texas, pediatrician.
Nothing.
No, it's
Code
it's
of
a
honor.
reference from season 1 of TNG, Code of Honor. The really terrible racist
No woman,
episode.
no vaccine.
Oh, okay, that one. Okay,
No
got it.
treaties.
No treaty.
I was thinking about the vaccines. Just because how fast they developed the COVID-19 vaccine, I was
Right.
thinking that they developed the vaccine quickly. It was just as fast as the doctors in Star Trek make them. I mean, it's just very fast.
Yeah, they
You
came
know.
out with the COVID vaccine in less than a year, which is like
Yeah.
the record.
They were
breaking-
highly motivated.
Money.
There's
They're
a lot of
lucky,
time
I mean,
pressure
but-
there.
And actually 3 vaccines, by the way, not just one, which is pretty
Yeah,
impressive.
free vaccines now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, everybody believes in Julian now.
Is he trying to create a cure or a vaccine? Because they're very
cure.
distinct things.
Yeah,
He's trying
no,
to make a cure.
I'm getting heavy Shinzon vibes from him.
It's too
Yeah.
late.
He looks angry now. Like what?
It's too late for a vaccine because everybody already has it.
Oh
They
no,
need a
but that
cure.
means like
Well-
the new ones, the new peoples will
Yeah.
be vaccinated.
Well, we'll see
There's
by
no-
the end of the episode what ends up happening. But right now, he's trying to
Yeah.
make a cure.
Or maybe a little bit.
And in the
behind
end,
on
he's
the
like,
thing.
I can't make a cure. Let's just nuke the planet and be done with it.
3 milligrams of vaccine.
3
Ooh,
milligrams.
she put a triangle on his forehead.
Oh,
Oh.
Like here we only get 2 shots of the vaccine. I wonder how many milligrams that is. But with the newest vaccine that we have now, you only get
hey.
1 shot of the vaccine.
That guy understands. He's talking about the spots.
God bless our medical professionals at the beginning of this pandemic, especially. Like, just imagine working in a ward where everybody's dying all around you, and you have to keep your morale up. Like, it would drive you crazy and depress you too.
Shell, that's a fake triangle.
Oh yeah, the other vaccines you have to store really cold, but this new vaccine you don't have. Like, you can even store it in normal room temperature.
Yeah, that's true. They have to give it away. But there's that other Deep Space Nine episode where they actually have a medical triage, and Julian just loses it because he doesn't have enough assistance. That was like a MASH.
Which episode is that?
I think it's when Nog gets injured, or like either that or no. Jake is on a mission to cover the war, and he just wants to tag along with Julian, and he thinks like a war is just going to be like, you know, glorious
pew pew
reporting.
Nor the battle to the strong.
Yeah, it's not Bashir that's the problem in that episode. It's Jake.
Yeah. In fact, Jake runs and hides even, and he's ashamed of being a coward too.
Jake turns yellow.
Specifically his belly area.
It's very depressing though. Okay, you're right though. Bashir is fine, but like Jake is losing it. You're right. Yeah.
That'd be ideal.
Caring competence.
Bashir, rein it in, Bashir. Stop looking at the lady like that.
Nah, he's just being nice. He's not flirting with her.
The makeup on her
because he
cheek
flirts
is...
with kind of everyone in season 1 and 2.
He's just a flirt. The makeup
season 1
on her
was pretty rough to watch, but season 4, season 5, is way better.
Yeah, he's mellowed out a little bit by this point and realised that not everyone in the station wants to bone him.
Or plague victims.
The makeup on her cheek looks like the Borg assimilation, kind of.
Kinda.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Kind of looks like a burger simulation.
It like spiders out on you.
Maybe it's just some form of nanovirus. Who knows? Like,
they're adding more makeup with every shot, I think. Sorry.
Are they?
That's what I felt.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe. They're definitely going to be adding more makeup later on, for sure. That's going to be pretty obvious.
Later on in the show?
In this episode.
Oh.
Also, Kukulaka. This will not be Kukulaka's only appearance. We'll get him later on. We will get an in-person appearance from Kukulaka eventually.
A Kukulaka rescue mission.
Also, look, okay. I don't know when that episode is, but I'm totally going to spoil it. Why does Lita, when they break up, keep Kukulaka and still sleep with Kukulaka in her bed? That seems weird to me.
Maybe they forgot.
Because she's possessive and revengeful or something. I don't know. It
Who
just seems like a
sleeps with
really...
their ex's stuffed animals. Who does that?
That is weird.
I think that's just like, you know, something to get at Julian with. Like, I stole your favorite bear.
I mean, they went to Ryza to break up.
Yeah, they had a very amicable breakup.
Yeah,
right
so
until the end of the episode.
Yeah, so and we didn't even know that they were there to break up. So it's like they just had a weird relationship to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a funny episode because you see at the end that it's basically like the ceremony is kind of like a sham almost to sort of hide all of the negative feelings.
So
Yeah,
maybe that
definitely.
line reading from Siddiq al-Tahir al-Fadl Abdul Muhammad Ahmad Abdul Karim al-Makdi wasn't so great. My God. A little bit camp in there.
You said that really well. I wouldn't be able to say that well. It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, a lot of practice at
Ryan-
this point. Siddiq al-Tahir al-Fadl Abdul Muhammad Ahmad Abdul Karim al-Makdi.
You're going to get tongue twisted saying that.
He's been doing it for 5 seasons almost now.
It's a good name.
No, Ryan, but it is, and you do it in a very sensitive way. Because I remember when I first, it's like the second or third time I watched you. The first time I heard you say that, I was like, "Are you making fun of foreign names now?" I'm writing in the chat. You didn't even. So, and he's like, "No, we're not making fun of foreign names. That's just his name." And I'm like, "Okay, that actually is justifiable."
Okay.
I am
So that's,
more interested in foreign names than regular old names. Like Rene Aubergenois is much more interesting to me than like Avery Brooks.
And
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
and then so, but
How
I hung out
very
for
dare
another.
you?
I hung out for another 5 minutes. It's like, okay, is he actually being racist? And like, he wasn't being you were not being racist at all.
I hope not.
So I was like, all right, this guy's cool. I can join his stream, or I could hang out here now. Because if you
The
were
joke
going
is the
another way
name
with
is
it,
long.
yeah. If you were, but if you went another way with it, if you were like, yeah, I'm allowed to make fun of foreign names or something, I would have just like closed the stream and never watched you again.
Yeah, that's reasonable. That's fair.
You underestimate him. He's very accepting of everyone in all classes as long as you're not black. It's fine.
He definitely did pass the
No.
test, and he's a very open person.
I just made
I've never detected a hint of racism or sexism from him, and it's a good thing
Oh,
because
there's
do you
been a lot of
detect-
racism,
has it
mostly
like a
against
smell?
Cardassians and their stupid spoonheads.
Racism.
Cardassians are the worst.
There is a bit of space racism in this show.
There's a lot of racism going on nowadays, not just in Star Trek, but pretty much everything. Anything.
yeah,
Let's
online.
not talk about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Um,
Bashir just got a bunch of people killed, and he made their last moments. Instead of going to Trevine and pass peacefully, he gave them a very painful and slow death. Thanks, Julian.
Price of
Right.
progress. Price of
the
progress.
other doctor was giving them hemlock, and
So now they should rob him, right?
Yeah. At this point, they need to follow
Like,
through
look at
on the
that.
Flane threat.
That's no longer like a treatment center. It's like a kill count that he has now.
culling is the word. But
I
Dax
didn't
says here.
intentionally kill them.
It was our. Sorry. Dax says here though it was our instruments which killed them. So like that neurotransmitter they put on the head probably caused the guy to have the
the
episode he
quickening
did.
to like
yeah.
happen.
The quickening to quicken.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make some batter now.
Yeah, now we're getting
That
the
quickens.
information about Bashir's sheer heckin' hubris.
The
You
quickening,
okay, Jer?
the quickening kind of
He's
reminds
just
me of
playing with
Dennis
some
Quaid.
cans.
Every time I hear of viruses on the ship or anywhere, I think of COVID.
Yeah.
If a
Yeah.
Dominion engineered this, then there is by definition a cure.
Not
Right.
necessarily.
Oh, that's yeah.
They don't have to have
Of
engineered a
course.
cure.
Well, they don't have to have engineered it, but what I mean is if it has
Haven't you
been
ever
engineered,
seen
then it is easy.
Night of the Living Dead 3?
In theory, every disease has a cure, and every encryption can be bypassed.
Yep, you're right.
Like every lock can be broken as well. So if you look at a virus as a puzzle, you can somehow solve it. I'm not saying I understand how any of that works.
Yeah,
I was more
Um,
thinking of the fact that if someone created it,
Mhm.
if you can get in their head and the way they think, then you can discover the cure more easily than just like if nature creates it, and in which case there was no thought process, it just happened
Well, there-
spontaneously.
We got a new
I forget
member.
which one, but
Hello,
there is a
Andy.
Night of-
There's some triangles for you.
Woo!
Everybody
no,
loves a
it's fine.
triangle.
There's a Night of the Living Dead movie where they specifically say, the military says, like, no, we engineered this thing to be a weapon. We never worried about designing a cure. It's like, well, you idiots. But I guess it could happen.
I'm kind of wondering. You might have said it, but I don't know. But I'm kind of
I think
wondering what's the difference between a
A cure and a vaccine?
yeah, a cure. But what's the difference between treatment and a cure?
Yeah.
Treatment doesn't
Treatment means
necessarily
the
mean
person
you're
still
going to
has
fix
it.
the
They just
problem.
feel better.
Yeah. Like you can treat a headache with painkillers. It doesn't actually take away the headache. It just stops you from being able
okay.
to feel it.
Yeah, you can you can get rid of the symptoms essentially.
Yeah. But if
I
you
mean-
cured your headache, you would never actually like the physiological parameters that make up the headache would cease to exist.
Right. Let's say you had a artery that was slightly clogged or something in your.
Or parasitic
No,
worm in
you
your
get more of a
brain.
headache from that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying though, if you drank water and took Tylenol, that might reduce the symptoms, but you still have the but you still have not cured the underlying cause. But in theory, though, see, viruses can't be cured. That's why there's the only thing is that you can subside enough with your viral levels that it can be undetectable. But in theory, if you stop taking the antiviral drugs, they'll come back or whatever it is.
Well,
For certain viruses. Yeah.
Well, it's because a virus isn't. We don't define it as being like a living thing. It's just a blob of information contained within a protein, I believe, and all that can be is either destroyed or dormant, and your body won't necessarily destroy it.
Right.
If it's dormant.
Yeah.
Right.
And some stuff is not meant to be. Some stuff is like there's not meant to be a cure for everything. I mean, you can't cure everything. Not that you can't do it, but you just can't. That's just how the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah. I mean,
These
but like
DS9 discussions are pretty heavy.
Human ingenuity, though, maybe one day we might come out with a cure. And so I think even with CRISPR we can modify DNA. So I mean, not right now, but at some point you could even imagine diseases like Down syndrome to be fixed.
Hang on just a second. While we still see that blanket and it's in shot, I'm looking at all the stitch work around it. That stitch work isn't actually like a quilt they stitched together. That's just a printed picture of quilt work on a blanket.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Really? I saw stitches on that blanket. But that was the chemistry set I was talking about earlier on the table.
Is the map behind them accurate, or is it just like some random scribbles?
I saw that too. Look, they got a children's drawing on the background of this one.
You might have had children back then.
I think it's called a Bunsen burner. The thing that they're burning on the chemistry set, where he's distilling the thing that she doesn't want to drink. He says he has a salve.
What a guy.
So I'm looking at that background image, the drawing. Is that like really low budget concept art for the episode?
I was thinking maybe it's like a map of the slum they're in. Maybe.
I was thinking it was the Jetsons.
Part of my presentation for a live-action Jetsons movie.
Also, Bashir, how do you know this? How do you know the baby will be old enough in 2 weeks? You've never seen the species before. How much?
Oh, that is their planet. The domed huts. That it's not the Jetsons. That's the city that we're living in.
Maybe he just asked someone how long a pregnancy takes.
Or
I guess, but they don't have detailed medical records anymore. They don't have computers.
Yeah, but they will still know roughly how long it takes, however many mins or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that makeup work is so gross. It's awesome.
Yeah. True. I know.
Oh.
What are you doing over there?
He's clapping.
Slapping a pizza out.
Are you?
He's slapping his thigh with one hand.
I don't think
he was crapping on what he just said about the artwork.
Yeah. By the way, I thought this actor was Mark Hamill until somebody told us who he was, because he just has such.
He does look a little Hamily.
A little similar.
Oh, also, Mark Hamill posted on his Instagram his high school picture, and he was head of the student government or whatever, and he looks so cute. I'll put it on the Discord.
So the other students had promoted him to the rank of master?
He was on the student council for sure.
It's not like he wants to kill people, Julian. He just wants people not to suffer. Come on. Give him a break.
You think the piece that Trivian gets from his work is what's keeping him from quickening?
The end state of this disease is so obviously there's a visual change. The person is clearly worse off and they are going to die. This is part of the reason why I don't get Julian's objections to this. If you know that you have reached a point where you're just going to die, why shouldn't you want assistance to get out of that?
Well,
this is just
Julian never passed judgment on it. It was her that said, I don't want to do it.
No, Julian was pretty angry at the beginning when they when they brought in the woman who'd quickened and he found out that they killed her.
Yeah, but in this particular situation, he didn't say anything. He just said, like, do you want to, like, well, it was Trevian that asked her, and she said no. He deserves a chance.
No, not in this particular situation, no. But at the beginning, he was very clearly quite angry, and it didn't make any sense because Julian should understand that if you have a terminal disease and you don't have the resources to actually take care of it,
Yeah.
I
think that's just maybe like a
humane thing to
byproduct
do.
of the fact that he comes from the Federation and they have like the
Yeah.
resources to deal with this kind of thing.
Things are so
Perhaps,
regimented and structured there.
I think that even Federation ethics would understand that if you've got a terminal disease that nothing can be done about, and it's going to kill you and it's going to be awful.
Yeah, but he even says in this episode
Julian's-
he came with the assumption that it could be cured.
And Julian's, it's in his character profile that he is easily frustrated.
This is true.
And he's
yeah.
he's very overconfident too, like because of his ability.
Very important plot point.
Sheer
That baby does not have the blight. He didn't cure Coria,
Because
but he vaccinated
because
the
what-
baby.
right, he gave the antigen and it was absorbed through the placenta and the
And by
fluid.
Coria.
better off with Bashir than with Dr. Trevorkian there.
What are they going to do with the baby now?
Look-
do they have phage orphanages? Or blight?
As
sorry,
the other
blight
person
orphanages.
was saying, if
I'm sure they
someone's
do.
suffering, the most humane and this goes for a cat or dog too, by the way. If someone's suffering, the most humane thing you can do is to put him or her down.
Well, I mean, terminally.
Yeah. I don't.
I bashed my toe. Put
I
him
was feeling a
there.
bit nauseous yesterday. Don't put me down.
Yeah, really.
I'm okay.
Time to die, Ryan. You have a cold.
I hope not during the show yesterday, or was it after? It felt nauseous.
Yeah, I get the chills every once in a while, so I don't need the barbiturates loaded into me.
Oh boy.
So
I didn't mean to ask you right now. I was just curious. I'm pretty curious.
I think this might actually still work as a cure for non-pregnant women, because it only didn't work for Coria apparently because it was absorbed in the placenta. If you don't have a
Right.
placenta, does it just absorb into you? Are you fine?
Well, it's a vaccine, so it's too late for them.
But it was supposed to be a cure. That was the
No,
initial
he called it an
marketing pitch.
he called it an antigen, right? Which is like it'll
He
kill the-
specifically referred to it there as a vaccine.
Right.
Don't.
Which would imply it's a virus, but they never actually specify if it's a virus or a bacteria.
It's just some Dominion blah blah blah
Yeah.
bad thing.
Yeah. It's just,
Or
it's a
vaccines are
phage.
not the cure.
Exactly.
Vaccines
It's
are not
just like
cures.
another treatment.
Oh, wait, what ships are here? Just Klingons, no triangles, okay.
So I looked up the word antigen, and
Like colon wall?
apparently it can induce an immune response, which means that if an antigen induces an immune response that's sufficient to eliminate the virus, it can. But otherwise, it sounds like it could just end up being a vaccine.
So we just said
antigen is short
viral
for
reproduction
antibody.
normal. It is a virus now, canonically.
Okay.
We just
And
established.
it's producing antibodies too. So, okay.
Yeah.
Antigen antibody.
He's
Need a
also
doctor.
trying to do
Antigen is
genetic
short for
resequencing of
antibody
the host
generator.
to try and cure it.
You could do that, but they on that planet don't have the capacity for it.
But that's what he's trying, because he's
He's a
doing
doctor.
base pair resequencing, and
call a
viruses
doctor.
don't have base pairs, as far as I'm aware.
And the
Yeah, I
COVID
don't think they
vaccine
have pairs. It's just
was
singular.
achieved. Right. It was achieved with the help of AI, which is also amazing because it would have probably taken us 5 years to figure it out.
Yeah, it would have taken a lot fucking longer.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
about that in particular because there's been a lot of different variants and approaches, and that new variant approach, you know, the mRNA or whatever it's called, yes, that was
Yeah.
assisted by AI. But other vaccines were achieved with more traditional methods.
So I just looked it
Yeah.
up. Viruses do actually have base pairs. They do have DNA. They're fine.
Yeah.
I thought they had RNA,
Yeah, DNA.
and then what they do is they inject their code into other cells, so they don't actually have even they don't even have mitochondria, which is what a basic
They
cell
are
needs.
hackers.
Yeah, they are.
That's why they're not technically considered alive by our current definition. They don't do anything on
Because
their
they're
own.
hackers.
They need a host. Yes, because they're
God.
hackers.
I'll be personal for a minute. I never got my vaccine yet, but I plan to. I just
Yeah.
I just didn't have it done yet because it's been because everything's been so rushed. We want to wait to make sure that it's actually
safe.
That it's actually safe.
I think that's kind of the way is kind of let things kind of do their initial role. Plus, obviously it's focusing on frontliners and elderly people.
Yeah,
I'm in line for my vaccine, but I'm in a very low risk group, so I'm not going to be getting it for a while.
Yeah, same
That's
here.
good. That means you get the refined version.
Yeah, I'm different, so I qualify.
Just glad my husband was able to get it.
Hopefully by summer they'll just be able to mail it to you in the form of a gummy bear or something. 'Cause I would be happier with that than a needle in my arm.
It's funny you say that because I did read an article the other day that they're working on similar mRNA inoculations that can be accomplished through an inhaler.
And then
I think it's much more likely you get an inhaler than something you eat, because if you eat it, your body is going to dissolve most of it in the stomach acid.
You can get a nasal spray for the regular flu.
Yeah, so if you spray it into your lung, that's straight into your bloodstream the same way an injection would be.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
Yeah. 1 minute countdown to the next episode, Body Parts, which is about desiccated quark, I believe.
It's funny. It's comedy.
So that's 2 episodes in a row that are touching on very similar subjects.
Yeah.
This one makes you laugh, though.
This is with a Ferengi twist.
Oh, yeah. That's
we had euthanasia yesterday, we get euthanasia today, and now we get a break with some Ferengi.
Euthanasia with pandemic.
FCA. Also, the Discord, there is a slot open if anyone else wants to hop in. We also play D&D on the Discord with some people, so if you want to play D&D, there's an interest form that if people fill it out, it sends me an email, so I know that they are interested.
We play 4 hours a week.
4 hours a week.
Awesome. I haven't played in decades, to be honest, so I would have to study up before I felt
comfortable. Press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, most of the people in the game hadn't actually played before.
About to say, I haven't played in years before I played.
So yeah, if you don't know how to play or you don't remember how to play, don't worry about it.
Wait,
that's actually much more friendly sounding.
Yeah, it is. It's very friendly because I never play. But my fellow trekkers, I don't understand one thing. When we watched the episode with Shakar and when O'Brien and Kira were in a shuttlecraft and they were talking about taking a vacation together and then they decide against it, I thought Kira was a surrogate for him then. But this is the episode where she becomes a surrogate. So why are they going to Bajor together if that's not his wife?
No, she was already a surrogate. This is the episode. Wait.
Or is it the next one where Kira becomes a surrogate to O'Brien? Because, yeah, it's the next one, I think. Or is it?
She was definitely already a surrogate.
No, it's here when Keiko has the accident. Kira becomes a surrogate, or the next one. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Just putting that out there. We don't have to solve the mystery now.
I don't. Yeah, we're gonna be finding out in 8 minutes because that's when Kira shows up in the infirmary. But
okay. Yeah, it just didn't make sense in my chronology of the future. Quark is celebrating, and his doctor gives him a false diagnosis here. The funny thing is, he says, "I can sue the doctor in practice," which means Ferengi society has a problem with tort reform also.
If I may interrupt your conversation, I would like to say bye and see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Later.
Live long and prosper.
Sarah, the episode.
Bye.
Bye. The episode where Kira and O'Brien are arguing is looking for Parmak in all the wrong places, and we watched that on Valentine's Day.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
And we're watching it next week.
My birthday too.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Hey, Morn. Yeah, that explains so much.
I like Morn.
You know what else we watched that was really good and we should watch again?
Threshold?
No, Sub Rosa.
Sub Rosa. Oh, if we're watching anything over again, it'll be Sub Rosa
You
for
can watch
sure.
Sub Rosa whenever you want.
We have to watch City on the Edge of Forever when the next episode we watch out of order.
Yeah,
And-
Sub Rosa is. I love Sub Rosa.
City on the Edge of Forever would have been a great Valentine's Day pick.
That
Yeah.
was our alternate. Yeah, like maybe we should watch something
Next
else.
year.
but,
Dating tip 19:
Next year.
kill your girlfriend.
Yeah, we can talk about Joan Collins. It'd be fun, man.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's just a mind.
Just thinking an alternate reality, we didn't watch Sub Rosa on Valentine's Day. I don't want to be in that reality.
A tragic universe that is.
Oh my god.
I've said this before. Encounter at Farpoint, when Ryan started streaming, the first word out of his mouth were Sub Rosa. So
It was?
yes, I mean, like the first thing you started thinking of was Sub Rosa. You hadn't even played the episode, and you're like, Sub Rosa, great episode.
Did I hang on? Let me look back in my archive here. Did I?
Even
Why would I
even
start
when
with
starting
Sub
this
Rosa?
whole stream, you were thinking about Triangle Ship. Cue the emoji chat. The you were thinking about Sub Rosa, and it's just amazing how much you care for that episode. Alexander sitting at this point, he's no longer sitting.
Yeah, that's been true for a while.
Okay, thanks.
So I
We
just
all-
watched back the first part. My line was, "Hello there." So we're not watching Sub Rosa today. Also, look how much uglier this stream format is. Look at this. It doesn't even have the nice border. The timestamping is a weird place. It doesn't even have a triangle ship counter. What's the point? What is this? What is this? Worthless.
I'll buy your desiccated remains when you pass away, Ryan. I mean, I'm older than you, so I'm probably gonna go. But that's very precious. Somebody starting with, so we're not watching Sub Rosa.
That probably would have been a reference to the test stream we did, because that wasn't technically the first watch along. That was the first real watch along, because we did a test before of like. It was the episode where Luoxana had the fish people and they were assassins. That whole thing.
And Tidians, right?
And Jeffrey Combs plays Brent on this one.
Yes.
Yep. That's true. I forgot about that. Thanks, Kevin. We love Jeffrey Combs here.
Oh, I forgot.
Not just Triangle Ships.
I just saw the title on there.
Thank you.
Jeffrey
For
Combs
the
is
YouTube chat, I
actor.
forgot when we got that bit in the last episode where everybody started dying. I meant to put this emote in the chat.
Human.
I'd forgotten. So just retroactively insert that.
Ronald D. Moore. Or Stephen Bear.
Oh, and our
6
director.
days? You can get all that done in a day?
Director's another cast member.
Who is it?
That's all.
Oh, Avery.
Yes,
That's funny. He does good comedy.
he does for sure.
The closet,
Avery Brooks. In stark contrast to the Dominion, Avery Brooks has way too much chill.
To be honest, I don't know how I feel about actors directing. Directing is such a whole different job. I mean, Frakes does fine, but it's like you can't just take an actor and put him in the director's chair. It's a whole different level
Apparently
of
you
genius.
can do that. By
Yeah, Star Trek does
There's
it.
so many different,
takes more than that.
so many different styles of acting, and some do jive well with the transition into directing, but in a lot of cases it just doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have directors who can be successful, but they're too dependent on their ADs or on their director of photographies or
Right.
just that kind of stuff. They surround themselves with good people, which is what a smart person would do, but
Right.
they may not have the vision of someone who is like actually a good director.
Yeah. And like you said,
of
like
the
I mean,
community Quark is.
every director has a good AD. You know, like I mean, it's even the greatest ones rely on their ADs. So obviously, you know, an actor just put in the chair is going to do the same. But
right, or your DP cinematographer, that kind of thing. But it's funny to me because like sometimes people who are good, not great actors end up becoming really good directors, and it's just something about probably at their core are directors who were just able to funnel that early on into acting and didn't realize what their ultimate goal was. I think of like Ron Howard. Ron Howard's a fine actor. He's a much better director than he is an actor.
Right. Of course.
Do you think that when Armin Shimmerman dies, he's actually going to do this and sell desiccated discs of Shimmerman?
Depends how.
I got $500 for you right here, Armin.
Would that be legal? It sounds illegal somehow, but I don't know why it would be.
No,
you cannot
sell like his kidney stone on eBay or something.
Yeah, but in American law, you cannot own that doesn't exist.
I mean, you can own someone's skull if you do it properly.
Yeah, the Catholic Church has relics of saints, like Archbishop Fulton Sheen in Chicago. I think they're like passing around his finger bones or something.
If you can insure body parts, why can't you own them?
No, but that's the thing, though.
No,
there's a crime called like not disposing of a corpse or not reporting the death of a person. You can't just start slicing up a corpse because you feel like it.
You can't just get a corpse, but you can get a corpse by certain means. Like that one guy who got his leg amputated and he took it home with him and ate it.
Okay.
That was the thing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
He made leg tacos out of it and had his
if
friends
someone
eat them.
signs a contract with you saying, you now own my body parts, then that is what happens.
There is a little cottage industry of companies that will make diamonds out of the cremated remains of your loved ones.
Right.
You can own body parts, but you have to jump through a lot of hoops.
Like cremation. But actually, there's another thing, though, that I was thinking of, which is the opposite of what I've been saying a minute ago, which is cryogenic freezing. You sign up, and I read a New York Times article about this, Sunday edition, about this girl who was diagnosed with, terminal cancer. She was like 19, and what you do is you take out insurance on yourself, and like $100,000, and then that insurance money, because you're going to die, is goes to the cryogenic company, and they freeze your head. Actually, that's all she could afford, I think. And the idea was
your whole body. I think she just got her head frozen.
Yeah, she only got her brain frozen because the idea was she could probably afford that. But the other idea is though there's two ways to do it. You drink this thing that freezes your brain, like antifreeze, basically. Because when you freeze a brain,
surely you don't want antifreeze to freeze.
But if you've ever frozen meat, you understand it destroys the texture of the meat. So freezing your brain just by putting it in a cold chamber is not a good idea. You have to do this, you have to drink the special thing that's going to go into your brain, right? That's going to prevent the frozen things from damaging.
Yeah, the structure of your body or whatever has to be maintained, because if you revive some frozen meat, it ain't coming back to life.
The last sentence, I know I'm going on. Where I'm going with this is the other way to do it, other than drinking the antifreeze, so to speak, is that they would desiccate your remains into like thin little layers and scan that, and the idea was to digitize and then recreate the brain in the future somehow. So you can get this done if you have the money.
Yeah, it's all essentially a fraud, though.
Yes.
None of it actually works.
I mean, it really worked.
Hey, I've seen that Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
But if the freezer fails, you're never going to come back to life. So
what about Khan?
Yeah, but if you're in space, it's always cold.
True.
Also, yes, the baby that is now in Kira, they had to do this episode because Nana Visitor is actually pregnant at this point.
Right.
And specifically, the father is Siddiq al-Tahila Father Abdurrahman Muhammad Akbar Makti.
Yes.
He is the father.
They marry later.
What's the child's
when
name?
When they're arguing later and Kira starts yelling about this is all your fault, it's because Siddiq is the father.
Sorry, I got it.
Quickly on cryogenic freezing, my fear would be that I would accidentally be frozen for like 1,000 years, and then I would wake up in the future and have to become a delivery boy and hang out with an alcoholic robot.
That'd be so interesting, though, wouldn't it? Being in the future that long.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
You would never run out of stuff to do because you would always have speaker places. Someone would want to hear what the guy from 1,000 years ago has to say about today.
New York.
What do you mean, Quark? That is a generous bid. 17 bars of latinum for your remains. Come on.
Seriously, dude.
And that's his whole life saving. Oh, what's amazing is they give us the calculation here. It's 10,000 slips of latinum is one something, and then no, 1,000,000 slips of latinum is equal to 500 bars, and that's 10,000 strips.
I was told there would be no math.
Okay, let me say that in a clearer way.
Is that like the reclining chair and Umax chair?
Yes.
1,000,000 strips of latinum equals slips of latinum equals 10,000 strips of latinum equals 500 bars of latinum.
Let's put it this way: slips are small, bricks are big.
Bars.
Bars are
no,
slightly
there
less
are bricks as well.
Less big than bricks.
True.
10,000 strips.
Bouillon is the French word for bricks.
Bouillon's what I put in my stew.
No, it's also used the word for gold bars, and they're called bullion. Oh, not
gold
bouillon,
bars.
bullion.
Why would you want worthless gold?
Sorry.
Filled with sand.
So I could put latinum inside it. That's why it's called gold press bars of latinum. But another insight. Go ahead.
To simplify the equation, according to Mr. Felon, 1 bar is 20 strips, and 1 strip is 100 slips.
Thank you. I'm gonna remember the 10,000 in a minute. Thanks. But the other thing is, though, this episode I realized watching it again is that it comes from Shakespeare's. Well, let Brunt get here, and then I'll talk about Merchant of Venice.
Spoilers.
The Merchant of Venice. How?
Because that play is about the guy happens to be Jewish, but there's a Jewish banker named Shylock, and he makes a deal with someone that I'm going to, when you pay me back, you have to pay me back with a pound of flesh. And he's like, well, I want your skin. And he's like, well, you gave me the money back, but what about the pound of flesh? I need like a pound of your skin on a scale before I and the way it's resolved in Shakespeare is he gets another lawyer, and he says, well, you can have the pound of flesh, but not a drop of blood. And that's how the guy's life is saved, because obviously you can't take out someone's flesh without getting blood.
I feel like it's important to note, if we're talking about Merchant of Venice, everybody in that play was evil. Shylock was he was the antagonist, but everybody else was also just evil.
And General Chang quotes him there to show that Shakespeare was not anti-Semitic, because he says, if you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you wrong us, shall we not revenge?
And then the judge in Venice orders by law Shylock to convert to Christianity in a final just spit on him. That's just, you can't.
Yeah, that's
do
anti-Semitic.
What?
That's anti-Semitic.
So
that's anti-Semitic.
Yeah, that was the resolution. Because Shylock basically by the pound of flesh was threatening to kill a Christian, the Christian judge ordered him to convert, and he also did he have to pay restitution? It's been a while. But it was messed up.
I mean, you could get a pound of flesh out of someone without killing them.
Well, it was
Without
a pound
blood?
of flesh from the area nearest to the heart, specifically.
Oh.
This watch along discussion, we got math, we got Shakespeare, like we're killing it today.
To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them to die, to sleep no more, and by sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to.
I think someone's put Ryan on 1.5 times speed.
To sleep perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death what dreams may come, and we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause, there's the respect that makes calamity of so long life, for who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's convolute, the pangs that despise love, the innocence of loss, the lost delight, and the spurs that fate away, and the takes when he himself find his acquaintance make with a bad bodkin, who would follow bad regretted sweat on a real life, but the dread of something after death, the end is coming.
I would be tempted.
Jesus.
Yes, for whose born no traveler turns puzzles the way, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to weathers we know not of. Thus contrast us make cowards of us all, and thus the native few resolute and sickly know, for the pale cast of thought and enterprise of great pith and moment. With this respect, their turns turn awry and lose the name of action.
Bravo.
And in standard tradition, we have medicine, Shakespeare, and absolutely no Star Trek.
Yes.
It's about...
As
look, this
is
episode
the
came
show.
from Shakespeare. This
Might
episode
as well
came...
be watching Threshold.
Wait, I like that to be or not to
Threshold
be line
wouldn't
though.
prompt any of the good discussion though.
Look
Is
at
this
his
all?
shirt.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the replacement holographic Doctor. They try to replace the Doctor in Voyager because he gets sent off and they're not convinced he's coming back. And instead of being a personality, he just starts quoting off an entire book.
Y'all reminded me
Grey's
of the scene
Anatomy.
in Star Trek 6 though. I saw a wonderful review of Star Trek 6 on YouTube. But when Chang is piping Shakespeare throughout the whole ship and like they're trying to load up a torpedo and Kirk's like, "Where's that damn torpedo?" And he's like, "I am constant as the morning star." And Bones is like, "Does he ever shut up?"
He goes, I'd pay real money if he'd shut up.
Yeah. I loved your rendition though. Please feel free to do that anytime.
That I wouldn't really call that a rendition. That was just sort of one long sentence.
We're like data rolling through like all of the code letters and numbers.
Yes.
But-
0 hours.
More like an insurrection when Data was singing that song from Gilbert and Sullivan, the famous British
A
playwrights.
British tar is a soaring soul as free as a mountain bird.
Dana
His
has
energetic
processing
fist.
power.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Dana has
Anyway, so-
processing power.
So in Star Trek, Brunt apparently is the one who bought Quark.
His lips should furl and his brow should rise.
And his lips should curl. Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was like the only good part of Insurrection. After that, it was all.
I love Insurrection.
It was a wasted opportunity. This scene is like Quark asked 3 times, like, "I'm not dying," and Brenda's like, "I don't care."
Then kill yourself. Come on.
But why is it
that's when
52?
you
Is it one for every day of the week? Like, how exactly are you going to be desiccated? Because I understand, like, you might get a little, the little slider that you put under a microscope and get a little piece of skin or something. But, like, are we going to divide Quark into 52 slices and then somehow keep that?
I mean, I
It's
imagine
not-
how they do
yeah.
it is they like incinerate him and then they just divide the ash into 52 discs and compress
Right,
it.
Quark.
Yeah, compress it into some kind of solid.
Ugh.
Is
It's
it
called
called?
desiccation,
Just,
which comes from dissection. Sorry.
Yes.
Just
Desiccation
quickly,
specifically
this is-
refers to taking all the water out of something.
Thank you.
This whole scene is really dependent on 2 good performances from these actors because it's essentially just flat shot, reverse shot. Like there's nothing fancy or particularly interesting about the way that this is shot. The performances are good enough
True.
that it works.
True.
Which might be indicative of Avery Brooks's directing style.
Skills.
Trusting the actors, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely, because the dialogue here is pretty good too, but it's really their movement and their faces. But like when he says, "We're not Klingons, we're businessmen," and then when Brunt says, "You're a bigger idiot than your brother."
But there was, until he got up there, I mean, that most of that conversation was just them in 2 fairly stationary positions. Shot, reverse shot, which works because, yeah, the dialogue's interesting and they're good actors.
Yeah.
That's a good dialogue.
Until now, where you're finally kind of moving the camera around and creating a little more visual
Very
variety.
good dialogue.
You're right.
Did
In news,
you
we
guys
call
just
it.
catch that wicked insult? He just called Quark a philanthropist.
No.
Disgusting.
In news, we
In
call it the
my
talking
Star
heads. Sorry.
Yes, yeah, good call.
And talking heads is cheap, but it's very boring. Like this is why people don't want-
Humanitarian.
like Bill
Thing,
O'Reilly.
you have to do interesting things with it.
Yeah, and that's why Bill O'Reilly was the first one who was successful with that talking head format. Before that, you really couldn't do a news show because he started yelling at his guests and like cut his mic and getting all animated.
Yeah, it's
he made it work.
it's very like the movie Network.
Yeah, right, with the Ted Baxter and all that.
It may not shock some of you guys to learn I work in the television and film industry. That's where my perspective's coming from on some of these things.
Okay.
I did an internship at Fox News for a year, so when I was 18.
Oh, really?
So yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I would love to work in television, but no one hired me, so
I've
it's kind
watched
of hard to break
television.
into. Yeah, I mean, I graduated college in 2008, so there was an economic recession right as I was graduating, so I had to figure something out.
Oh yeah. I graduated in 06, and at my 5-year reunion, every single person I knew had gone to law school because there were no jobs for anyone besides computer scientists.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's incredible how that affected people. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, when you graduate, you expect to like be making 6 figures at some point, but it's like nobody wants you, which is an interesting demoralizing effect.
Let's circle back to the show. The episode is now halfway over. So Brunt falsified the test results to make Quark think he was dying, so he could kill him. Which, you know, uncool.
Oh, he explicitly says that here?
Oh yeah, he admits it happily.
Okay. I mean, it's always implied because, you know, it's all too rigged that like Quark gets a false diagnosis and sells himself.
Bronze can be very blunt.
It stops being implied in that scene. You guys were just not watching it.
I watched it 3 times.
Other things to talk about. So yes, Keiko is no longer pregnant.
And
not
desiccated
so
means dried or dehydrated. So thank you for correcting me. Yuck, dehydrated
Yes.
Okay.
It was like Rosalind Chow. I'm sad that she wasn't in more of this show.
She also auditioned to be one of the main cast in TNG, but I don't remember who.
I'm glad she didn't make it.
Rosalind Chow is
mean?
Keiko?
I find the character she plays unbearable.
Yeah, Keiko. TNG casting. I don't remember who she was trying to be. Auditioning? Hang on, I have the PDF.
Oh, Rosalind Chow and I don't remember the other actress's
Tasha.
name, but the woman who plays Ogawa were both up for Keiko.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Sorry, Alyssa is Ogawa's first name.
Yeah, Rosalind Chow originally auditioned for Tasha Yar. Which obviously didn't quite happen.
Ogawa's name is Patty Yasutake.
Thank you. But was it Nogawa at one point, or am I misremembering?
Was it what?
Ogawa was Nogawa at one point, right? Or no?
I don't think so.
Not that I recall.
Okay.
She was Dr. Ogawa at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Quark brought this on himself because he didn't have to accept that bid, but he got so greedy that he was like going once, going twice, click.
Is this our only Carrick scene?
Extra padding to the seat is going to be very important for Morn, who's always at the bar.
I have to say, I like Morn. I know I said it already, but I like Morn.
Talks too much. Otherwise, I love him.
Yeah.
What's that suit coat in the background, right above Garrick's head?
Oh my god! Yeah, what was that?
There's a funny line in here that comes up in the next episode. But he's like, "Oh, you're a tailor." He goes, "So besides a tailor, I'm a gardener." And the next episode, Odo gets out of him that he was a gardener at the Romulan embassy, and that's why so many Romulans dropped dead when he was a gardener at the Romulan
It was one of the few assignments where the cover was more enjoyable than the job. He likes being a gardener.
And I think it's implied because the toxic flowers that like he killed people.
I like Andrew Robinson's facial expressions in the background, just mouth slightly agape, trying to process what is actually happening here.
Hey, you got to keep acting.
Yep.
I mean,
he's delighted to kill Quark.
Oh, he's into it.
He's a hired hitman, so for you to say
Kardashians kill people.
Yeah, no, but he's also a member of the Obsidian Order, which is their spy agent, or it was.
Yeah.
It's been so long since Garrick's had the opportunity to assassinate someone. He finally gets to do it. It's been so long.
Which is why I was thinking this episode. Right, does Garrick watch like snuff films in his private time? Because he's really like into this idea.
Oh, he might watch like John Wick or something. I don't know.
He probably spends his spare time like trying to get into other countries or other empires' communication channels, trying to spy on people just for fun.
Yeah, he's got a lot of lies to maintain too. Don't forget.
In the 21st century AD, the buyer's descendants may be used to clone him into an IRL James Kirk from Bill.
follows through on his contracts.
Yeah, this is an interesting swipe at religious fundamentalism. It's like, I'm following the book, even if that means I'm going to be doing something that's extremely detrimental to my own
I'm not just
well-being.
evil randomly. He's not chaotic evil, he's lawful evil.
Yeah, he's lawful evil.
He's by the book evil.
He's like, I'm gonna get into heaven. I'm gonna get into heaven if I do this. And so the divine treasury is heaven. The registrar is Saint Peter at the pearly gates.
And it gets bribed, which is awesome.
Yeah, and you bribe Saint Peter.
I mean, that's kind of like some religions. You have to pay Sharon the 2 pennies or 2 pieces of copper.
Yes. But you know what?
I like this.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like that scene a lot because I think we get an insight into Rom's character where Rom's motivations are very emotional, and it supersedes his sort of Ferengi heritage sometimes. His love for his brother,
Quark, or trying to.
Yeah, exactly, and like that really sets a nice precedent for his character moving forward. It gives him a kind of clarity, really.
Right, and before though, he's kind of happy that he gets to inherit the bar, and he's no longer thinking that way. Which is again, he's no longer a Ferengi, as you said, value-wise.
It's a very dramatic character shift from season one Rom, who tried to assassinate Quark by literally launching a bomb at his face.
Yeah, I wonder if they just realized how to play better into the actor's strengths in that way, because I think Max Grosjean is much better at being sort of emotional and impulsive.
Yeah, I agree.
Season 4 is also the season that Michael Piller left the show, so like the direction of the writing significantly changed.
How are you supposed to pronounce Rom's actor's name? Is it Grodenchik? Is it Grodenchik?
I just took a stab at it, to be honest. I wasn't sure.
Because that's another interesting name, but I have no idea how to say it.
I'm sure Michael...
I've been saying auberginois wrong for
Yeah,
decades,
I don't know how to say that either, by the way. I'm kind of ashamed of myself for being a Star Trek fan. I don't know how to say it. Michael knows how to say it. I don't know how to say it.
I think it's Rene Auberginois.
Yeah, Auberginois.
Yeah. Auberginois.
Yeah, because it's French.
Right.
I had to watch some things when he was introduced at cons, but eventually I found the pronunciation.
Yeah, and as far as Max Grodenchik, I'm just making a guess there. I don't really know.
Michael Piller... Oh, yeah, it's a hologram. But yeah, it was scary for us. But the funny thing he says here is like, I heard the bone snap. And he's like,
yes,
it wasn't that loud. He's like, to me, it was loud.
Garrick, there are only so many ways to kill you, Quark.
What was he eating? A plate of spaghetti?
No, it looked like a big diced zucchini plate.
He was loving it, whatever it was.
You should have let him finish it. That was cruel. But I forgot what I was gonna say.
I like how the indentation stayed as the hologram faded. The nice touch.
Computer remove corpse is one of those sentences that when it was first spoken was the first time it was spoken.
Yes. I believe there's a subreddit for that called Brand New Sentence.
Oh, nice.
Hey Bez, how's it going? Yeah, if we want to kill Quark, with him not being aware of it and he doesn't suffer, we could pump gas into his room while he's sleeping.
Yeah, he addresses that though.
CO2.
No, Garrick says though you didn't like the smell of the lethal gas.
But you can do it like
interesting.
CO2, suffocate him.
That means he must have smelled it.
No, CO2 will reduce panic.
Yeah, CO2 is not great. No, it does in all living beings. But that's why in the latest chicken farms, and they're considering this for the death penalty when they don't have the pentobarbiturate injection, is that you put nitrous oxide, because nitrous oxide won't cause the CO2 reaction. Basically, when you have too much carbon dioxide, you start breathing faster, exasperating, flipping around, which means you're not getting oxygen. But if you do with nitrous oxide, you're not going to notice that there's no oxygen in the room.
Yeah, your body
You're just
doesn't
gonna keep it.
recognize that you're at an oxygen deficit when you do that.
Yeah, carbon
Yeah.
monoxide does the same thing. It attaches to hemoglobin really, really well.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
So I mean,
sorry, I was gonna say I had to step away for a second, but I wanted to say I love that. Like, if you're on the station and you want someone murdered, even yourself, the first guy you go
Just go to Garrick.
is Garrick.
yeah,
The tailor, of course, as you do.
true.
Hey,
It's the divine treasure.
I think like when he walks into this room, he's like terrified. He's like, "No, Garrick, don't kill me because the lights are off." But don't if you hire Garrick, don't beg because it's not going to help once you hire the contract.
Oh,
Quark's having a vision right now.
this divine treasury. So I'm
Yep.
always in the lookout for things that contradict canon within a show for a video.
Okay.
One thing, I think this contradicts previous canon, because before when they talked about the divine treasury, they said they were going to bid for their new lives, but no, in this episode, you just bribe the registrar.
And but you're also supposed to pull out your profit and loss statement.
There.
I am.
We get the name of the
No,
person.
that's Rob.
Oh, hey, Max.
Yeah. Good prosthetics, though.
Amazing. I didn't recognize him.
Yeah,
My-
I don't know the actor's name.
Really, like interesting gold lighting throughout all of this.
Yeah, Quark calls it tacky or something, and then he's like, "Well, it's your dream." Because obviously it should be like solid gold.
Right.
You know, like they
Solid
call
gold,
the
but
pearly.
it's worthless.
Yeah, gold's worthless.
Worthless gold.
Okay, but
Oh, there's
it's
another
same
canon
idea.
break. In previous episodes, they described it as pure latinum, except latinum is a liquid, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, is gold worthless? Because isn't there like something where Quark says gold is good?
No.
Yeah, he
Gold
says
is
that in the past, and then
That gets retconned.
specifically in the Roswell episode, but in the future,
Oh,
on
Blue
the
Green Men, yeah.
in the future episode where a certain character fakes his own death,
The bank of
Yeah.
Boleus.
Quark specifically says, "There's nothing here but worthless gold."
But this is a great answer to religious fundamentalism too. It's like, well, those weren't really rules that we put down in that holy book. It was more like a suggestion, but we had to phrase it as rules because if we just said it was a suggestion, then nobody would follow it.
Yeah, it got out a little bit of dramatic flair. People aren't going to be interested.
It's also a commentary on capitalism because it's marketing.
Marketing existed pre-capitalism, though.
Sure, but I mean, it's nowhere near as
consumer
invested in-
advertising did not predate, capitalism.
But yeah, it did. It was just
No,
a
it
guy
did.
shouting on the street instead.
Advertising definitely did. Advertising goes hand in hand with commerce.
No, but
marketing is
consu-
more along the lines with capitalism because marketing
I mean,
is like influencing your potential audiences to think about you before you think about others.
Yeah, using
I
depth
mean,
psychology.
Didn't the Roman gladiators have corporate sponsors?
Yeah,
Probably.
Something I've heard. That they
did.
wouldn't do it in the
They
movie
actually
Gladiator
wrote that out
until
of,
but people wouldn't have believed it.
Exactly. Yeah, they wrote it out of the script
Of
because
course,
it seemed
Brunt
too
is
unbelievable,
here.
even though it was based on fact.
That's not.
Yeah.
His name is Brunt FCA. Get it right.
That's like his title, like PhD.
You will address him by his proper and full title.
Brunt FCA.
Well, what's his second name?
It's FCA, clearly.
just
That's three names?
Ferengis only have one name. Quark, Rom.
Yeah, there's Brunt
No, they
and Gint and
another name.
Rom.
We just don't share it with people.
Mookie.
I called my mom Moogie for a while.
That's
Oh god.
I don't
Did
know.
you
after that-
understand the reference?
Yeah, I kind of told her it was from Star Trek, but
I'm not.
You just
I'm
start
not sure
calling her a
what.
different name and don't explain it.
I'm not sure what their real name is, but I just know the older, like the older Frank, if you will. Her name is Mookie.
Yeah, it's not her.
They just call her
Name is-
Mookie.
it's
Yeah,
kinda-
her name's
It's kind of weird they had
Name
him
is
choking
Ishka.
himself. Like, you can feel like you're being choked in a dream without actually physically choking yourself.
that was weird because when I
guess he's just-
watched that,
He's just that freaked out.
He's
I thought
very
it was gonna be-
hands-on.
I thought it was gonna be Garrick or Brunt choking him, but it just turned out to be
Brunt's too lazy. That's very lowbrow work for Brunt FCA.
I mean, he might.
Garrick's got better
Brunt
things to
FCA
do.
might
He'll get
hire
through the best
Nausicaa
way.
to do it.
Yeah,
or 2.
Yeah, it only takes one Nausicaa to do that. You don't need another one. Too expensive.
My mom and I were talking about Ancient Punishments once. I kind of freaked her out a little bit, but I was like, I think like, I think like, what is it? The
Was she
electric
trying
chair?
to think of a punishment for you? Is that why?
No, we were discussing like holy books and those archaic punishments. So I was like,
You better wash the dishes, or I'm going to sit you on top of some bamboo.
Firing. So I was like, the electric chair is better than the firing squad, is better than hanging, is better than drowning. I gave a long sentence like that, but there's so many ways to die, and none of them are appeasing.
How would you know that though?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would have to ask Dax. But drowning sounds pretty terrifying. But they're all, there's a gas chamber, there's the lethal injection.
Okay.
And-
Can we talk about anything else?
Let's leave the death.
Video removed.
Let's leave the death behind, and the killing, and the suicide.
Yeah, I want to. So Jeffrey Combs. Now we're post Wayun introduction. So then we got Brunt here. Like Jeffrey Combs at this point is in the speed dial phase of DS9.
He's very good at the Brunt role.
We're going to completely rewrite the
Jeffrey
species
Combs.
so that you can
Jeffrey
come
Combs
back.
is good at the Brunt role.
Yeah.
What's funny, something that occurs to me here is that why would Brunt have legal jurisdiction to confiscate anything that belongs to Quark on a Bajoran space
This
station?
doesn't make sense, right?
Because he's from the FCA.
Yeah, I mean, all Ferengi affairs are commercial affairs are governed by the FCA. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if Cisco wanted, he could step in and stop it, but that's just a diplomatic incident.
True.
This seems tenuous at best, right?
It's just
I
the
think
other
it's more like
Ferengi aren't allowed to do business with him.
Yeah. No, but also, for example, think of it like an excommunication in the sense that, like, and he is being excommunicated here. No other Ferengis are allowed to work with him.
Yeah, but they took everything from his bar, including like all the furniture and all of the alcohol,
and his money and his shirt
belonged to the station.
Did it belong to the station?
I was going to say
Quark's or?
I think Quark precedes the Federation
either way.
Here, so.
Yeah, the Federation's the controlling agency, so you would think, Cisco or whoever directly handles that in his staff would be able to step in and.
Well, Deep Space Nine is a joint operation between Federation and Bajoran.
It actually benefits the Federation
it
because
might get caught
now,
up in red tape.
Now the Federation has part ownership of everything that he owns after this.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Right.
But
that's how it hashes out. But in the short term, it's like if you're in Quark's position at this point, you would file something, but it would probably have to bounce back and forth between a couple Federation and Cardassian offices.
You have to file for an emergency stay of the Ferengi court order.
It would have to go to the Ferengi at some point, and they'd just say nope.
Oh, they left him one chair. That's nice.
And they left him a shirt. He wants a shirt in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
he's got his trousers on quite high.
Speaking of the recession.
Okay, yeah.
He still has that cool, stained glass thingy behind him.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the physical station.
I saw that.
That's fine, though. It's
so
I bet it's nice and warm.
No. He broke the contract, but once you break a contract, you're no longer a Ferengi. Because rule of acquisition cited at the beginning of the episode was a contract
is a contract is a contract.
A contract is a contract.
Among Ferengis is the
among
addendum.
Ferengi.
Addendum.
Yeah, there's
so
an addendum
if
there.
you break a contract with another Ferengi, you're nobody. You're like Warface to the Klingon Empire right now.
And I think that black mark sticker he put on the wall is going to be there the rest of the series.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least until another episode where he regains his business license.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever truly regains it. He just sort of wiggles back into being able to buy stuff from Ferengis.
No, he gets it back.
It's
Forgot how much
favoritism
we
because
get
his
of
mom is
just-
dating the president.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he still has ROM working for him. If that was like a real excommunication, then you wouldn't even be able to have a single employee.
I mean, Rob doesn't really care though, because he works for the Federation at this point, or he's part of the Bajoran workforce.
Yeah, he's wearing his Bajoran uniform.
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah, he quit a while ago.
He quit in the Union episode.
Yeah.
We do get really good brother to brother stuff with Quirk and Rom here. I forgot how much of that was actually in this episode.
Yeah, funny line here. They're not as ugly as the old ones, but they're still pretty bad.
Yes.
And Quirk says, I find this all amusing.
They are pretty ugly.
They're like dusty and everything.
Well, they got like jewels stuck on the sides or something, so they're not going to like click together well. Like, it's just a shitty design. Pardon my
I
friend.
have to imagine that wasn't made for this. That was just an old prop they had laying around. They're like, that's a terrible prop. Let's give it to Quirk.
God.
Oh, hey, Morn.
Grabbing stuff out of the Paramount
prop,
warehouse here.
And the funny part is here, Quark wants a storage fee for like the fact that they're restocking his restaurant.
Green guy looks pretty good for a character just having like a single, scene walkthrough here.
That's his like little, okay, I'm now in control of the situation. I wanted this.
It's a power move.
Yeah.
A really
He's still a
transparent,
Ferengi.
really weak power move.
Yeah, like a nominal.
Cisco's just like, whatever.
Morn comes in and sits down, he's like, thank God.
He's lost.
Did he get the extra padding in the trousers?
Picks up a bottle of brandy.
Yeah, didn't he?
And it's said in a previous episode that the Federation never even charged him rent for the bar and apartment.
Yeah.
So it's for bar and restaurant, excuse me. So it's like for him to charge a storage fee, pretty galling.
I mean,
right?
Cisco like knows that he's not going to pay anything.
Yeah.
That was
Quirk
like
wants to feel
privilege,
like a
'cause he was
Ferengi
in front
again
of
by
everyone.
charging people.
Plus, honestly, in a station like this, in a situation like this, the number one best thing for station morale is a place like Quirk's. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely, they have a real...
Yeah, the Replomats are
more so than the
Real
Hollow
share.
Suites.
Yeah. Yeah, the Replomats are not going to do it. The Bajoran restaurant's not going to do it.
Hollow Suites are great, but nothing will match the appeal of going in and having drinks, partying, playing some Dabo, flirting with the Dabo girl,
darts,
bullshit
Suites.
with Morn, playing darts. Like, come on, talking to Quirk, hearing the latest gossip. Like,
Yeah.
if I lived in the station, I would be there every day.
You're right. And all the weird aliens come through Quarks, so it's like that's where you got to be.
Oh my God, it's the best. And everything's happening. And if you want to play darts, you buddy up with O'Brien because he's always down. And it's just
Here's
sorry,
the fanfic
my
I
own
wrote
fan
about-
fiction here, but yeah.
That's one of my favorite endings for Quark too in that episode is because you can see at the end that he's not just happy that he's back in business. He's actually touched by everybody's.
Yeah.
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 There's that really good line there,
Yes.
Dax and Cisco are my assets. And-
Yes. That's as sentimental as a Ferengi can get about people. Yeah.
Quark is, as we know, a pillar of the community. And as we also know, there's a 1-minute countdown to the next episode, Broken Link, Season 4, Episode 25.
Yeah, but your friends and family, loved ones, those are
his
your
brother. His brother rubbing off on him a little bit emotionally,
Oh, that's true.
The Federation's insidious.
But that episode where Oda loves Kira and he can't tell anyone, and Quark comforts him. There is a sweetness going on between these characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Even Odo here is where do you want us to put all this stuff? Just
that was cute.
I also like Ono's my next
Pretending
character.
to be gruff.
Yeah. Ono's
What
a
was
good
that, Kevin?
character. No, I was saying I also like Ono as my. I also like Ono as my next character.
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Ono's a great character. He's
Yeah,
funny.
he
10
is.
seconds.
He's funny.
10 seconds.
Everybody press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, fight.
So this episode, I really remember the ending very strongly, but I don't remember what else happens in it.
Oh, it's an up and down rough ride here a little bit. Yeah,
He's about to
Great.
get very sick.
Oh yeah, and also Yeah.
Garrick tries to play matchmaker.
Yeah, this girl hits on
think
Odo pretty hard,
Garrick-
and then he's like, "No thanks."
I think Garrick dates his customers.
No.
No,
He only has
he
eyes
has
for
an
Bashir.
eye. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
But maybe
Just-
dates isn't the right word.
Zial maybe, but
Celestial Cafe, you're in space, so you made a space pun with your restaurant.
well, it's like Cosmos on planet Earth, right?
It's not
In Voyager.
necessarily a space pun. It's about the temple, the celestial temple.
I guess.
Oh yeah.
True. Well,
Pizza
Voyager
Planet.
did have a Cosmos restaurant, or no, the guy's name was Cosmo. Sorry.
I just know Cosmo is a fairy from Fairly Odd Parents, Cosmo and Wanda.
There
I
is
was thinking-
actually a Cosmos restaurant in the town where my parents live. So
I was
it's
thinking
On
of the Fairly
Seinfeld,
Odd Parents.
Cosmo is Kramer's first name.
that too, yeah.
That there's no way that's Admiral Nechayev, is it? That can't be right.
Oh god, it is. That you said that.
There's no way that's Admiral Nechayev.
It's the same voice.
It's not
DS9,
her.
Broken Link, IMDb.
It's the same hair.
It's not her.
Oh, come on.
I like this
I don't
episode.
want any
That's good.
girls flirting with me.
No,
Well,
that
I
is
think-
no. That I confirmed that is absolutely not Admiral Nechayev. No.
Thank
I choose to
God.
believe that it is.
I think later in this episode, Garrick admits he was assassinating people on Romulus at the Cardassian embassy.
Yeah.
Arroyo
With
was
flowers.
played by Jill Jacobson, who's in I don't know, Falcon Crest. There's not a lot on here.
But Odo, she's not
She
Kira.
is. Yeah, she's not Kira.
Oh,
It's not happening.
She doesn't like Kira.
Oh,
That's what you get
Okay.
for falling in love.
this shot looks there. It is. I was thinking
Twitter
this shot
baited.
looks a little bit fuzzy. It looks a little bit odd. It's because we're putting in
Yeah,
some
like-
CGI here.
Yeah, like gotta phase out the matte lines here.
Now it looks normal again.
That's what happens when Odo is forced to experience human emotions.
I mean, I
can't
get it.
over the
That's
fact that in Garrick's shop, the mirror in the background is the same shape as like the Cardassian Union logo and their ships. Everything in Cardassia is
Yeah.
Cardassia shaped.
Yeah,
The
but
bloody
about
mirror.
Ono, he's part human.
I mean, I get Odo though. That's what happened like 5 minutes after I met my husband. I just spasmed and fell to the ground.
Sneezed and fell to the ground.
Get the
them every
EpiPen.
time.
That's how love works, right?
That's connecting
Exactly.
by him.
That's how we wish
I
it
see.
worked.
It reminds me of 7 of 9. Love is a disease.
Remember, there's a
I mean, you wouldn't
disease.
have to ask the questions like, "Do they like me? What are their thoughts about our relationship?" If they spasm and fall on
Did
the
you see the
ground,
spasm?
He loves me. Oh,
You have to actually get to know someone.
no, all you have to do is
It's
be
falling
introduced, and you start spasming, and
Yeah.
you know it's real.
The awkward part is when they spasm and you don't.
Yeah.
ooh, gotta have the talk.
So
There's a
You're
British joke
You're
video
recovering on the floor from your spasm, and you see the person
that you guys
like
are
isn't spasm.
reminding me of called "Jizz in My Pants."
Nope.
Yeah,
We're leaving
oh,
that thought on the floor.
No.
Don't
Nope.
say that.
So this episode
say
is
that.
directed by Les Landau, who directed a lot of television episodes. Really, no features or anything like that, but directed a lot of Next Generation episodes, including Tapestry, both parts of
Ooh.
Time's Arrow, Sarek, Future Imperfect.
Those are all the
they're
best
good
episodes.
ones.
Wow.
High
Yeah.
Terrors,
Quite
like
heavy there.
Conundrum.
I'm a-
Like there's
I'm like the Future
yeah,
Imperfect.
he's a heavy hitter for sure
But
as far as Star Trek
quick-
directing.
A quick addendum. I didn't realize Star Trek 6 was directed by Nicholas Meyer, who also directed Star Trek 2.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing.
When I was in film school, we screened his movie The Human Stain, and he was there for a Q&A, and I was able to talk
What
to
is
him
that
briefly
screen to?
after the Q&A, and I asked him about Star Trek 2 and that kind of stuff. And he literally said, he's like, my favorite thing was in those meetings, it finally clicked, and he's like, these are Navy stories, essentially. And he's like, I grew up watching those and reading books about that.
Wait.
And he's
Wait,
like,
we
as soon
got
as I
something very
realized
important.
that's what it was.
Hang on.
Thank you.
Bashir just said your mass and density change when you shapeshift. He said that Odo's mass actually changes when he shapeshifts.
How does that work?
That answers so many questions. It doesn't make any sense, but it answers so many questions.
It creates a few more.
Yes, it creates another one.
He could become like a coffee cup and he'd be light as a coffee cup.
He creates gravitational waves.
Conservation of energy and matter and momentum.
So what happens?
I guess,
anyway, that was the gist of the story with Nick Meyer. But yeah, very nice guy.
Thank you for sharing that.
Nicholas Meyer is responsible for the militarization of Starfleet, essentially, as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and for better or worse. I mean, you could read that in a number of ways. I do really enjoy his movies, but I don't know if I enjoy the concept.
I mean, TOS...
It definitely suited the TOS movies better
Big time.
than what we were starting with anyway.
Right, definitely. And by the way, I mean, in general, though, TOS was a submarine thriller. You like the Balance of Terror episode is when you have two submarines. So, but definitely, you definitely see in Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 6 especially. Like they even call it the CNC and the top brass and all the chief of command and everything. So that it was. I do see that militarization there.
Hornblower in space is how it's described. You know.
Roddenberry and Meyer were at loggerheads for a lot of Star Trek 6.
Yes, and actually,
really were not.
This review showed though. Roddenberry saw the cut, the draft cut of Star Trek 6. He was infuriated. He demanded a third of the movie be cut. Meyer refused, and Roddenberry died 2 days later. And Meyer said he felt bad about it. But that's amazing.
Oh, wow.
Like.
Great scene here, though, with Gowron on the view screen, for sure.
And Gowron almost blinked. His eyes almost closed, but he caught himself and he managed to pull him back.
And cut, yeah.
By the way, what does the Federation do when the Klingons say, get out, otherwise we'll take over? Because if, like, they're not going to start a war, but they're also not going to...
I mean, you say
that's
that.
where you're wrong.
Okay.
They're totally willing to start a war.
Uncomfortable allies, but yeah, the Klingons are not going to be slow to
start a war
battles, or at least skirmishes.
I like how this ties back into Discovery.
I mean, I would guess that if there's nobody actually in Arcanus, they'll just give it to the Klingon. But then, like, you're doing the Hitler appeasement thing.
She's not covering her mouth properly.
They said though, evacuate all your bases.
Yeah, those are not very convincing sneezes.
Is this too comedic for like what's really going on? Like things are very serious right now.
We need a little bit of lighthearted, a break from
I don't know. Like, the tonal shift is pretty stark though at this point.
True. I mean, they had to fill 45 minutes of an episode. We kind of talked about before how,
What is Dax's position?
Chief Science Officer.
Yeah.
And
her rank is Lieutenant Commander.
Lieutenant Commander, yeah.
Lieutenant Commander, old man, at your service.
Yeah. Yes. You'd think her rank would be higher after all these. Well, I guess Jadzia herself.
I assume for fairness reasons they have to reset the rank every time you get a new host.
So Worf is Ops then at this point?
Otherwise, should be like Mega Admiral by now.
No, he was Ops. Now he's Command.
Is Worf still a Lieutenant Commander? He should be higher.
Also, in Deep Space Nine, the bridge is called Ops, so I don't think there's an Ops position per se.
Oh, front door.
But Worf
is, it might be like a floating position.
They specifically call him
I feel like Worf's
officer.
Thank you.
And have you also noticed how
I feel like it's got to be a floating position because his skills are all over the place.
And Colin Meaney is Chief of Operations.
That's Ops. Okay.
No, he's Chief O'Brien.
Oh no, so Ops is Chief Operations Officer, which is different than Chief of Operations. So.
Ooh, criminal activity reports.
It's like, ooh, it's saucy stuff.
Basically, the way. Go ahead.
Does Dr. Bashir really not have a Game Boy or some books or something for patients to do? They just have to sit and stare at the ceiling until they get better or die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What does Odo do in his spare time though?
The VR's in the holodeck.
He sits in a bucket.
How big is the population of the station?
It's huge. It's huge.
Big, man.
It's way bigger than any starship.
What is
also, Odo, I think Odo doesn't actually have spare time. I don't think that's a thing.
She looks like she's out of a modern video game.
Has
We've
to
seen her
liquefy in
multiple
his
times.
bucket.
She usually works with Quark.
Looks like Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, going back to
Watching
the
this
text.
on mute, it looks like he's checking her out.
I mean,
Can
he's
you
here
guys
to
hear me?
apprehend her. Yes, we can. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're just
Okay, I've
talking
been
over
cut
you
off
'cause we're-
like I've been talked over like 4 times now.
This is
Just
why we
checking.
limit the number of people.
I'm
'cause
so
it gets
sorry.
even
I'm going to
worse.
mute myself for a bit.
Deutschland, go.
No, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Deutschland, I
The-
demand that you finish your thought.
The moment is well past.
Do it, Deutschland.
Do it, please. I'm muting
Do it.
myself.
It's okay. Don't worry about
I'm worrying about it.
it. Well,
And
good.
they must have siphoned him up and poured him back on the bed.
Ooh, wavy.
It's getting a bit sweaty now.
It when I first watched this, I thought this was the virus, and this is how Odo transmits it to the changelings. But we're not even close to that. But it's ironic that the changelings infect Odo here, and later Section 31 uses Odo to infect the changeling homeworld.
Oh,
Who said
Deutschland.
it wasn't this episode?
We
where
can't
this
generally
occurred?
hear you, but your voice does fluctuate, so I keep having to adjust your volume. So that might be part of it. I don't know what's causing
Weird.
that.
I tried to keep my mic in the same general location.
Maybe have a
Why
better
doesn't he
head.
just revert to his bucket for a while and chill out?
I don't think
Dr.
he's got
Mora.
the control to actually do that at this point.
He's like, "Why are you calling Dr. Mora?"
'Cause
Yeah,
he's
why
his
is Odo laying
favourite
in the
guy.
bed? Why isn't he in a bucket?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That would be
Yeah,
better.
that's a good point. What?
It's like
I
I think
almost-
the idea is that he doesn't have control of himself enough to get to that point.
Okay.
But he has to consciously keep his form, so surely if he just like let that muscle relax a bit, he would just goop.
I mean, maybe,
I don't
because in an early season, we did see him fall unconscious and stay as Odo. And then that gets retconned later. I don't know if it's been retconned yet. The Founders.
I mean, I think this is when the Founders get infected with the virus, isn't it? The Section 31 virus.
It happens at some other. It happens when Odo links with the female changeling, and then she goes and links with the population.
I don't know if it's established when it happens. It could be this occurrence.
Because
It
we don't
might
have
be
Section
when
31.
DS9 is taken over.
It's when she makes him human again. That's when he re-affects her. Well, not reinfect.
Well, let me go ahead and look it up. The morphogenic virus threatening Earth.
We're getting there. We'll be there soon enough. So I wouldn't rush.
Yeah, it's only a few months away.
Yeah. I do like the Bajoran sneezing thing. It's kind of cute. I mean, and plus, no one wants to see her throw up.
I think
Do you
part of
think
it
she
is
like
that,
poured pepper up her nose before each scene?
yeah. I think part of it is that the visitor probably went to the writers and said, "I am already suffering from morning sickness. Do not make me act out morning sickness." And I think the same is true when she actually has the baby. She's like, "I don't want to pretend that I'm in labor because I just went through that. Make labor something different," and then they make it so that she has to be completely relaxed.
Right. Well, and I think like any excuse to give her some sort of comedic or semi-comedic stuff is always good too, right?
Because that turns into like, I think it's O'Brien and what's the other guy's name? Jakar.
Yeah,
Shakar.
They're like bumping into each other. You go first. No, you go first in the doorway and all that stuff.
Yeah, so Bill made a post. Yeah, how do they make the actor sweaty? I mean, we were watching the TNG episode for when Riker was the host, he was sort of sweaty. So I just wonder how they make the actor sweaty. Do they turn the lights up one way so it sweats the actors out?
No, it's got to be artificial. I would think they'll use everything from
just
water
mix up
to
some goop and just
Vaseline
slap it on,
mixtures,
bro.
different solutions. Yeah, you just,
Okay.
there's a long history of various viscosities of goop in Hollywood.
Okay.
But studio lights are
this
very
stuff.
hot. I will say that.
Yeah, I always thought they
Yeah,
used studio lights and just turn them up all the way for the actors to get hot.
I
mean, in
you
some
might do
cases,
that,
but in,
then
like,
the problem is
in the
they get
case of
sweaty all
Renee-
over.
In the case of Renee Auberjonois.
in the case of Rene Auberjonois, in that situation, because he is under makeup and prosthetics, I would assume that's artificial moisture on top of that. But yeah, I mean, they'll do any variety of
I
things.
can understand Vaseline.
Okay, so I just looked it up.
Studio
Odo was infected during the episode Paradise Lost. That was the one where there was that coup to take over Earth.
Didn't we watch that?
Yeah, we watched that.
How did they infect him?
So he is infected.
When they do the medical
He was infected when he went to Starfleet Medical during that episode off screen.
Yeah, and they take like a sample or something, but they're not actually doing that. They're just doing the thing.
We don't even have Section 31 spelled out at this point, and that's when they did that.
Yep, during Paradise Lost, stardate 49419.
Point what? Great.
So is this the
Andrew Robinson, Avery Brooks scene here, performance-wise?
Yeah, especially when Garrick tries to bomb the Changeling planet, like a few scenes later.
Yeah, it is like he's not in it a ton, but it's a really good Garrick episode for sure.
Carrying him like this assumes that he's going to stay in this shape. If he just
phase through you.
If he just melts, they're gonna have to get a wet vacuum.
The more you tighten your grip, the more Odo will slip through your fingers.
Wait, someone needs to come get Puddle Odo here.
Clean up in aisle 3.
God.
Can we get like a dry and wet shop vac for Odo?
That's yeah.
Or like a rotor.
He looks like a plastic anime figure that somebody put in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quark's being sweet here.
But it
Trying to
that
sell
face.
about it. Quark's nice. They love each other.
I mean, really though, the makeup and I would assume
costume
aesthetic effects here. Yeah, costuming is just fantastic, I think.
Yeah, it's like they melted army men all over him, basically.
I mean, Quark gave him the strength
took
there to do this
time.
walk on his own, so that's pretty nice.
When it jumps out, I mean, how did they make that kind of look great? Already how did they make people sweat? How did they make that kind of look with Geraldo?
Again,
yeah, it's like Vaseline and water and smear, and also like there's plastic going on, melted plastic.
I was gonna say the melted plastic prop work though, but I mean that obviously took a lot of time.
Yeah.
Assemble.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. Oh man, great shot.
Oh, gotta make sure the light's on so you can see it from space or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus the changeling female, her skin flaking off and everything, just like it's really hard to watch, and she's so evil, but you still have like sympathy for her because she's like personally falling apart.
I think I've said it in these before. You know, you when you're a kid, 12, 13, 14, watching these episodes, you got to learn about body horror at some point, right?
I mean, just watch The Fly.
Yeah.
Oh God, The Fly. Yeah, man.
Or Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that's like very light, but sure, definitely.
Yeah, that's not really body horror.
But yeah, you got like you gotta go from that to watching like From Beyond, also with Jeffrey Combs. Oddly enough.
Ooh, we get the Gardener story now.
Yes. Oh, I I wanted to say quickly about Garrick character. It's really great because obviously Garrick did lose his father figure in Bryn, founder of the head of the Obsidian Order, due to the changelings, and that's why he wants to bomb the planet like to pieces now. Even though he has no ties to Cardassia, he has no ties to the Cardassia. He still has like that much loyalty. It's like, well, I'm gonna kill all the founders now.
He loves Cardassia.
Make no mistake, he's acting in self-interest.
I mean, not Quark. He's not Quark. Garrick. Like every time he gets Cardassian literature, Bashir's bashing it as basically Cardassian propaganda, where the only thing that matters is duty to the state. And Garrick's like, yeah, that's the only thing that does matter, duty to the state.
Right. Oh, but funny thing is, Garrick's only talking to Odo because Odo needs someone to keep him company, and everyone else is like busy working, which is
lots of fascinating stories for Odo to figure out.
Wait, why is Garrick on this mission in the first place?
Just to entertain Odo.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Notionally, yeah.
There's like it's never going to be said or established, but I'm sure there's some angle Garrick's playing in this. Oh, I have to get to.
Oh, we're going to establish that in a few minutes.
Transmit a secret message.
What Garrick wants to be doing here. Oh, he has a plan.
He's always got a lot of things on the fryer, is my point, I guess.
In fact, during the execution of Garrick's plan, we're going to get a little behind-the-scenes thing, where they accidentally knock over a wall and reveal the writing table behind it.
Nice.
And he almost convinces Worf to go along with it.
I mean, I wouldn't say almost. He tries, for sure.
Yeah, there's an attempt. I was trying to sort of dance around the main plot line, I guess, but...
Spoil everything. We don't believe in spoilers here.
I find it hard to believe that the Changeling have never put another Changeling on trial. It would imply that they're like not
grabby
morally flawed beings.
Alright, that's suffer.
Grab the chief like that. That's just mean.
You know, like sort of the blocking and that terrifying, they just beam into your bridge kind of moment.
I think that Jem'Hadar that was pointing the gun at Cisco was the one that asks Dax how old she is.
He does look like him.
That's racist.
That can't be him, because that entire group of Jem'Hadar went rogue.
And
yeah,
then,
but it would be the same actor.
They do something funny here, which is they put a device on the helm, which prevents the ship from tracking where they're going. It's like anyway.
And those tubes are always running.
It's like, I'm going to blindfold you and spin you around 10 times.
It has
and
been
then you won't
noted.
know where
Yeah, the fact that Cisco is so concerned about Odo's well-being, probably, abets a little bit of the genocide.
Motion detected at the front yard.
Gets her to chill out a little bit.
Amends a little bit genocide? I missed that last one.
Abates.
Mitigates.
Abates.
Mitigates or aids? Abet means to aid. Abate means to reduce.
Abate.
Thank you.
It makes her kill less.
Okay. Mitigates the genocide. Yeah. That device is BS, though. I call BS on that device.
Yeah, I don't know about those.
And Dominion's pretty high up on the tech tree.
If it could introduce noise to like the circuits all throughout the ship, then it's theoretically possible that and then the ship just begins recording static, essentially.
Yeah. Then they don't even have to have the ship fly there. They could just tow the Defiant if they really wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and turn off all the power.
What we don't realize is they actually just transported the crew into a holosuite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Garrick here. He's not even like confessing. He's like, "You're getting warmer, but how do I look?"
Yeah. He's very annoyingly peppy too. It's great.
Yeah.
It's like Kevin was telling us when he met Andrew Robinson.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was P Felon also too. Yeah.
It was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew Robinson is Garrick for all I know.
He's so peppy and he loves the role. I mean, I really appreciate both of you met him because I remember when I was growing up on Trek, like Shatner was just hating on the fans, and he's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
But it's like
Really cool. Came around on it, but it's weird to see people kind of reject it. I think now more have embraced it, and especially some of these actors who are quality actors who they know where their bread is buttered. Like they do embrace.
No,
the
I mean
roles.
you're paid to show up to a convention, but to be nice to the fans is an extra touch. Especially when P. Felon was telling us like Andrew Robinson broke into character to say you can take a selfie. That's just
the female
amazing.
changeling is now infected.
Not to mention if you're if you're one of the actors from the original series, for example, and you're in your 80s, you're kind of looking toward the close of your life and saying, what do I want to really leave behind?
Yeah.
And Nimoy is the prime example of someone who wrestled with his public image as Spock a lot.
He released a book that was titled "I Am Not Spock." Then later, he released a book that was titled "I Am Spock."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really? That is the best
happened.
button note on that.
True.
But I would really be interested if anybody had read those. I have not.
I have not.
Because everybody knows the titles. Nobody's read them.
I've read the I Am Spock one. It was good.
Okay.
Wow, nice.
Was it about him like embracing the identity to the
Well,
public?
What was the book about?
Well,
sorry, go ahead.
Never mind.
Yeah, shut up, Anam. Come on.
Deutschland, I demand you tell us what the book was about.
Oh,
I'm good.
I was quickly going to say the Nimoy documentary that his son made about him is quite good and kind of gets into that a little bit.
I guess it's probably erotica, and that's why I didn't want to talk about it.
In Star Trek 2, Nimoy wanted to check out of his role, and they, he was done with the role.
Well, that's why they killed Spock. Yeah.
Yeah, and then and they were even going to cast someone new because they had a younger Spock in Star Trek 3. That could have been a thing, like a teenage Spock or something. But fortunately, Leonard Nimoy came back and gifted us for another 5 movies.
Hell yeah.
I'm still really disappointed that the entire original crew was not in Generations on the Enterprise B.
That should have been its own movie.
I get Nimoy maybe not being there, but why is Nichelle Nichols not there?
Well, because the entire crew was going to be there, and then for whatever reason, Leonard Nimoy stepped out, and then that collapsed it, so that they only had Kirk, Scotty, and Chekhov as representing.
The entire crew after that. Okay.
And also, Kirk was also Shatner was rubbing all the original series cast the wrong way, so I'm pretty sure they were not inclined to do him any favors.
So the changelings here are punishing Odo because of the whole no changeling has ever harmed another. But they also infected him with this. It feels like this counts as harming another changeling. Unless Odo just doesn't
they
count
kind
anymore.
of define things very, very conveniently.
Anything they do is justified. Anything
back.
Odo does is.
That's just the nature of government too. I mean, we give people the death penalty for murder, right? That's the thing.
Right.
He didn't pay his taxes.
Join us in the Great Link. It's 1993. We're starting the internet.
A very interesting line in here is that you have to join the link and open your thoughts, because there's always a question of how much you can read when you're linked and changeling melded. But even at the end, he says that the other changelings were trying to hide this thought from me. Gowron is one of the changelings. So it's like you can still have your own mental barriers set up when you're in the Great Link.
They have training to resist force persuasion. They put up great barriers in their minds.
And they couldn't figure out how to punish him, so that's why they had a disagreement.
Right.
Oh, this is a terrible punishment.
It's also a lie.
What's a lie?
About all the Cardassians being dead.
Oh, really?
Because we have the whole episode where they go to the prison planet, and wouldn't you know, look at all those Cardassians.
Wow.
She lied to us?
She would
I
never.
think she's also lying with that statement. Because if she's been in the link, then she already possesses the knowledge to repair them.
She won't do it until he has been judged.
Yeah, and she
Otherwise,
presumes the boss is... She presumes the boss is Doctor around, and Dr. Bashir takes exception to that.
For the context of this conversation, just remember the bit where the Cardassians went and tried to kill all the founders by bombing their planet.
And it wasn't really their planet, but it was a Jem'Hadar ambush. And the founders did have to change their homeworld after that incident.
You're dead. Yeah, so maybe it's not a lie exactly. She meant metaphorically dead. In the same way that she's saying Garrick is dead.
It's like the Bible when God tells them if you eat of the tree, you will die, and then they don't.
So
die.
what she told him was true, from a certain point of view.
From a certain point of view.
Theology.
Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths you cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
And whether or not it was convenient for me at the time to tell you.
And
Has
how
anybody ever
foreseeing
read
the writers were?
Has anybody ever read any of these certain point of view books?
What
Are
is
they
that?
Star Wars related, or is that a different thing?
Yeah, so it's actually kind of, they're fun. They are Star Wars books. They are the perspective of other characters going through the situations in the movies. Like one
I
is
read that with the 2 stormtroopers.
Oh, I would assume so. The most recent one I listened to was from Empire Strikes Back, and heck, there's one chapter just about the Tauntauns' point of view, one about the Wampa's point of view, just all over the place. It's really fun.
Sometimes I think that Lucasfilm just creates Star Wars stuff to create Star Wars stuff.
Oh, it's totally that.
Hey, are you saying Lucasfilm might be obsessed with making money? That's crazy talk.
What?
I thought you were going to say, like, oh, there's this book that's told from the perspective of Wedge Antilles, or from the perspective of Mon Mothma. No, the Wampa and the Tauntaun. Okay.
And
like the characters.
Point of the view of the pilot in Luke's snowspeeder that dies.
Okay.
That would be interesting to be on the inside of R2-D2, so you could actually tell what he's telling everybody and thinking.
Is the whole
I really
book
hope
just a
the one that's
series of
from the
ones and
perspective
zeros?
of Luke's co-pilot is just the book is continuing as normal. He's describing the battle, and then it just suddenly stops mid-sentence, and there's 50 blank
Just a
pages after
dash.
that.
Oh no, they're much darker. It's like it's blinding light, and then the pain, and so much pain, and then it all goes dark.
Great.
They're
the
very
R2-D2 book is ones and zeros, but it's 7 million pages.
There is one. Oh wait, it's a joke. Okay.
Or the intense sadness of that droid that was not picked from the Jawas. And how sad he was.
It's just him hanging out in a room for 50 years. Yeah.
R5-D4 going toward the homestead. Oh, well, wait, something's wrong inside. Oh.
Do you think it's a bit of arrogance here that they are letting the Cisco and Bashir onto the planet?
Yeah.
Because they're gaining information just by being there.
On the other hand, if they weren't there, then Garrick would be bombing the planet. I mean, Worf would probably let Garrick bomb the planet. But also in the scene 2 scenes ago when mess hall of the Defiant, I like how Odo, as a police officer, constable, he submits himself to the judgment of his people. Because, like, I always think, like, you know, the law will be easier on you if you confess everything beforehand, but every criminal will probably get a lawyer and plead not guilty. But Odo's like, nope, I'm going to plead guilty, and I submit to your judgment as a criminal.
So, in terms of, I mean, of course, we're always derailed topic-wise in the discussion, but in terms of the episode, like, if you allow Garrick to bomb the planet, does that stop the war?
It would just make the Jem'Hadar go really crazy and try to murder everyone in the Federation before dying out from lack of white.
I was gonna say,
if there's
without a plan,
if there's no way,
they wouldn't survive. So, like, I'm not worried that much about Jem'Hadar. Like, I don't know. Like, I hate to say, like, again, God, why do we always talk about genocide? But like, I feel like Garrick's
bomb
makes sense.
Bomb them, nuke them.
Me, and like 2 other people, maybe. But yeah,
nuke.
One thing that's like nothing to do with that, but like I was wondering, why are the tables in the mess hall pointy? Like, if the ship gets a little bit of a bump and you crash into it.
I don't know. Why do they have pointy pillows on the station? Why is everything pointy?
They should be
There's a
rounded.
lot of pointy-related injuries in Starfleet.
John McCain.
I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. Thank you, Garrick.
Dr. Bashir was going to skip rocks before
don't do that.
Stopped him. Oops.
That's not water. That's not a lake. Those are people.
I love Garrick's acting here, Andrew Robinson, because he's like, you know, what about Captain Cisco Bashir? It's like, that's fine. And then he's like, what about us? And then he's like, we're going to die too.
Oh, and this is also where the blooper happened.
He's so logical.
Is that really in character for Garrick? Because Garrick, above all things, is a survivor, right?
This is really triggered by the female changeling saying that she's going to kill every single Cardassian in the galaxy. And he's freaking out.
Just a little genocide. I know we talked about that before, but...
What? Yeah. That makes no sense, Worf.
Yeah.
He wants to survive. Yeah. He wants to survive, but he's more concerned about duty to the state and saving Cardassia.
I mean, it's a preemptive strike, basically. That's all I'm going to say.
Also, watch when... right here. Watch the wall.
Yeah.
It was just a real quick shot, like a quarter of a second. But there was that writing table behind that wall. That was not supposed to break.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hot Master.
It's just a part of the set there.
Really good face acting performance from Andrew Robinson in that argument scene.
See right there, it's that behind that wall. It's none of all. I mean, the wall comes out, and you can see you can see there that it's just a piece of a set.
Now, some people are going to have probably some questions about Odo's human body. Let's cut this off right now. Don't worry about it.
Worry about it.
That's all we have to say about that.
You mean completely rewriting his genetic structure?
I don't know. It implies the changelings were humanoid, then they evolved into changelings, and then they just regressed his DNA.
They say that themselves.
So you either evolve into a shapeshifter or an energy being? Do you get to choose?
He's a little bit skin and bone looking, isn't he?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he's never eaten before.
But we can always. Yeah, we can now. He does. He didn't before. But
I also just noticed that she has mammary glands.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Forget it.
Sorry.
We can always rely on Garrick. Sorry, no, I mean I cut other people off, I talk the most, so it's not a big deal. We can always rely on Garrick to defend what is morally gray in this series, or morally not neutral.
He was doing that thing, like in that famous painting, where it was like reaching out to God. Did you notice that?
Oh, this shot! Wow.
Michelangelo's creation.
Okay.
Yeah, creation of Adam from the Sistine Chapel.
The roof.
Are you guys doing D? Are you guys doing D&D after this, or can I lobby for a bonus episode?
We're not doing D&D after this today. The schedule is going to be determined. I gave everyone 12 hours to do it, but I'm going to probably figure it out tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Don't say that.
Then
I'll lobby for a bonus episode, but if not,
City on the Edge of Forever. What was it? What's your nomination?
Yeah. I would say City on the Edge of Forever, since we discussed it a little bit. I'd probably watch it anyway, but
I mean, I'm down. I'm down with you, but I don't think Ryan's down. But yeah,
that's cool.
I would like to go do some other stuff.
No, that's cool. I understand. You're a busy guy.
Like detect motion at my front door. Yes, perfect.
That front door is busy
today. My mom is going to get food.
Detected at the
oh my god. Getting invaded?
Or to give me some burritos, man.
I mean, I could really go for some Chinese food. Could you pick up some Chinese?
Oh, yeah. Chinese would be good, man.
I like
getting burgers.
Maybe some probably
burgers.
Fried rice, black pepper chicken, and... I don't know, what's the third
I was
one?
just thinking about Chinese the other day. I need to have Chinese again.
Shrimp.
It's been a while since
Wait, I have something on the stove.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, I really want to watch City on the Edge of Forever now. Sure.
Hungry? A stark contrast to Q's turned into a human, which is a comedy. This is a little bit.
Think of the first time he has to go to the bathroom.
It's mostly just Odo freaking out.
Yeah, because he's human. It's his first time being human.
Wait, really? 6 months in a holding cell for attempted genocide? Yeah, I'm with Odo here.
Okay, I don't know.
Every one of those is going to be way more than 6 months. Oh, yeah.
You better not let him go because she introduced you to that lady.
This woman in her low-cut uniform. What's going
Oh,
on?
it was part of a human before.
Now,
Yeah,
as a
this
reminder,
lady's
that is not
hot
Admiral
to trot.
Nechayev.
I mean, before he was.
Wink.
I mean, before he was fully human, I thought he was also.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I thought he was. I mean, before he was all human, I thought he was. I mean, I understand he's not human now, but you see what I'm saying? I thought he was. I thought he was partly human.
No,
he was fully shapeshifter before. He just looked like a human.
Yeah, he looked like a human.
Humanoid.
Yeah.
No, he's not half human though. Now he's fully human though. You're right.
It's still weird that he's human and not Bajoran, but whatever.
Right, but I'm saying he looks like a human. You know.
I mean,
but
he doesn't have. He still has a mask, so he still looks like a founder.
Yeah, the real reason is because makeup, but
what I was told was
in canon, they specifically point out that they left him like that so he would be an outcast, or to always remind him of what he
said
lost.
that. Yeah, she did say that.
Even with human physiology, he's got the founders thing as this sort of mark of shame.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's because he's not going to be allowed to fit in. He's still going to be looking like a changeling, an outcast.
That's the thing. Like a lot of this series is about him dealing with his outcast status.
Mm-hmm.
It evolves. It changes, which is fun.
And yes, the founders do base their appearance off of Odo. They can look fully human or fully Bajoran or fully whatever, but because they are talking to Odo, they just look like Odo.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the explanation they go with, but it doesn't make any sense that all of the Jem'Hadar and Vorta instantly recognize a founder when they see them.
Yeah.
Good point.
Plot holes in Star Trek? Come on, man.
Never. Star Trek has always had perfectly consistent canon.
Just like Star Wars.
Until the Kurtzman era, because he screwed up everything.
And now, coronavirus doesn't exist in Star Trek.
Oh, it's a news announcement. That's really rare in Star Trek.
The build up to the coming war with the Dominion.
Sauron is a Klingon, Bill O'Reilly.
Robert O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly is someone else entirely. He's much worse than Robert O'Reilly.
Well played.
Everybody loves Robert O'Reilly. Nobody likes Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah. Very important distinction. Thank you, Ryan.
It's not Bill O'Reilly, it's Robert O'Reilly.
Yes.
Robert O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly famously also does not know how tides or the moon work.
Yeah. Tides? I don't know. Yeah. I just meant in terms of the talking head on TV. Yeah, obviously.
No, he did an interview with Richard Dawkins.
Oh, yeah, Richard Dawkins. Yeah.
So yeah, we've just established, or kind of established, that Gowron, the leader of the High Council of the Klingon Empire, is a changeling.
Oh,
He's one of them.
And we'll resolve that next week.
That's season 4 of Star Trek DC.
Season 4 is over.
For sticking with us for 4 seasons.
Friendship with season 4 is over. Now season 5 is my best friend.
That's a really good cliffhanger for the end of a season.
You don't have to wait for that.
It is a good one.
Yeah.
Next week, Apocalypse Rising.
Apocalypse Rising, where we're going to resolve the Gowron, the leader of the High Council of the Klingon Empire, is a changeling plot.
Unfortunately for us, it's not a two-parter.
It's not a two-parter, technically.
No.
It's a really good episode, though. Apocalypse Rising. Yeah, so
TNG
next week DS9. Next week DS9, because I have it open. is going to be Apocalypse Rising, with Gowron, the leader of the High Council of the Klingon Empire, as a changeling. The ship, where we get, we get a ship. They find a crashed ship and then they do stuff with it.
Isn't that some... Oh, no, that's the one on the planet, right?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the crash ship on the planet, and then they have to stand off with the Jem'Hadar outside. And then one we watched recently, looking for Parmok in all the wrong places. Where Kira and O'Brien are going to start a vacation together and nope out.
That's a good
Are we
one,
going to
too.
skip to the next one since we've seen it recently, or just watch it?
No, we'll watch it.
a good episode.
I want everything to be in its proper place for the playlist on YouTube. And then, right after that's going to be Nor the Battle to the Strong, which we've talked about a lot, but that's not going to be next week. That'll be the week after. Okay,
Then
next
we'll
week...
finish TNG, season 4, which will be a
Next week,
momentous occasion.
TNG is going to be, in theory, Redemption Parts 1 and 2, and Darmok.
Oh, Darmok.
Season 5, here we come.
Tanagra.
So yeah, next week TNG is going to be 4
Shaka,
parts,
the walls
4
fell.
episodes, and next week DS9 is going to be 3 episodes. Because 2-parters count as 1.
Oh, there's 4 episodes in that. Okay.
Yeah. Redemption Parts 1 and 2. And Darmok in theory. In theory, where Data gets a girlfriend.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
episode.
It's an interesting one.
Wait, it's not a theory. He does get a girlfriend.
Timber, his arms wide.
Yeah, he actually gets a girlfriend.
But that's the title of the
Shaka.
episode. That's what Ryan said.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it depends how you define it, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be the title of the stream, Data Gets a Girlfriend.
I think
Get a girlfriend.
So, I tell you how to do it, but that's how I put it down.
Data didn't get a girlfriend in season 1. He had a one-night stand. That doesn't count as a girlfriend.
Hell yeah, he did with Denise Crosby, aka Tasha Yar.
Well, he kept her. He kept a special hologram of her.
He did. But didn't... I think Tasha said
Who
at the end
could
that they would
resist her?
never talk about this ever again. It didn't happen.
Who could resist her with her slicked back hair?
Very easily, actually. She looked kind of creepy.
God. Yeah.
Also, she was drunk, and you shouldn't take advantage of drunk people.
Yeah, don't do that. But then Data was
Doesn't
drunk too,
Denise
so
Crosby-
you can't really blame Data. It's on both of them.
Data was not.
He's like the
infected that way.
granddaughter.
Was he
Yeah,
not
he
drunk
was.
at that point? He was drunk later in
He
the
was.
episode.
He was.
No,
He
not
definitely
that
was
point.
affected,
He was
yeah.
not infected yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, so yeah, that's 100%
bad.
on Data. But then again, for Data, I mean, he doesn't really understand anything.
Yeah, like.
In
for
real
all
life,
he
no,
knows
don't
is,
do
like,
that. Don't do that. Everybody here knows better. But Data, I don't know if we
All
can
he knows
blame
he's
Data
doing her a
specifically.
favor.
Also, I think her husband was an
Of course.
except her boyfriend. So
Yeah,
don't be the rebound. That's also another.
Dating tip number 20.
He's like. He wasn't programmed with the bro code. Yeah, or with the Ryan Titus dating tip trademark.
He wasn't programmed with the bro codes. Like
Bro code.
I mean, I don't think not having sex with a drunk woman who doesn't know what she's doing because she's infected with some sort of weird brain-altering disease, I don't think that's part of the bro code. I think that's something else.
Oh, you think that helped?
Is it Noonie and Soon's attitude towards women is going through?
One thing that we're forgetting is that Data himself was affected by whatever that was in the very second episode, right? And
The
they
naked
never,
But not that point, though.
Oh,
and they never ever satisfactorily explained why.
Yeah, with that green thing.
He just sort of said, "Oh, I'm not so different from a living being."
Yeah,
wasn't it?
that's
Something
all.
like
That's
that?
all the
He just sort of
explanation we
hand-waved
need.
it.
We're not so different.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, they retcon that for the entire rest of the series because literally any time that there's something that could infect,
Oh, yeah.
they just say, "Oh, Data won't be affected by it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the episode
another-
Conundrum where everybody's knocked out. Or not Conundrum, Clues.
Another
Or is it-
funny thing is that in First Contact when he makes out with the Queen, what else? He says the last time he had any use of those facilities was exactly.
You're really cutting
Yeah.
out.
About half of that came through.
Yeah, he's just trying to say
I get the gist of it.
Yes.
In first contact data references literally the time that he had sex.
So basically, I mean, are we literally just saying Data didn't bone after Yar before the end of that Queen episode? What is that crackling noise?
Oh, sorry.
What are you doing over there?
I was cleaning up some of the crap on my floor.
Chicken McNuggets.
Chicken McNuggets.
They're making all kinds of noise.
Yeah, it was Tasha
Give me some
Yar, then the Board
B-roll.
Queen.
Yeah. Which is like, that's like, I've had some long gaps in my life, but that's a long gap.
I mean, but he's immortal though. I mean, he thinks he's immortal at least.
Yeah,
The
I
length
was
of a
gonna
gap
say
is
like that.
largely
Obviously,
irrelevant.
we find out, but yeah.
Dry spell. Desert.
Oh, City on the Edge of Tomorrow. Who's down? Come on.
Affirmative.
Thanks, Ryan, for hosting. Thank you, chat.
Ryan,
I'm down.
All right.
Can we leave the Discord? I
If
don't
you
know how
guys
any
would
of
like
this
to
works.
watch City on the Edge of Forever, that's another thing. But the stream is now over, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit end stream. And thank you to the new members. We have members now. That's a thing. We can put triangles in the chat. Let me put a few
Good
triangles
looking.
in there.
Woo!
There's some
You
triangles.
too, Kevin.
Thanks.
And we'll be back next week.
Cool. See you guys.
See you next week.
Live long and
Later.
prosper.
Long process.